welcome to the Creatures Cortex podcast, number 11. We have the boys from Fall of Fathom. We have
Tanner Holmes
and
Miguel Rivera.
Okay, gentlemen, welcome to the show. We're going to jump in here by creating some drinks.
Yeah,
We like to drink.
The last podcast was a failure, so I messed with the recipe and modified it, and it tastes really good now. So we're gonna
Allegedly.
allegedly, right.
Sounded.
So,
Don't let me be the judge of me.
Smoked Blue Hawaiians. Gentlemen, have you heard of the Idaho Air Guitar Regional Championships?
Yes, we have.
Okay.
Actually, yeah.
We played for it right before, and I think that's probably where I met this guy.
Spectacular. Okay. That's happening 6/21, June 21st, 6 o'clock, Heritage Social Club. Will you gentlemen be there? You going this year?
6/21.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
We should have brought
June
our
21st.
books, dude.
I know we should have brought our schedule books.
Do it on Palm Pilot. Well, Palm Pilot.
We're not that advanced.
Oh,
man.
yeah.
We still write everything down.
David and I are as cavemen as well.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
The way our work, because we work together, the way our work is, we have to write everything down. Because once we go digital, then things just tend to slip through the cracks. And
Because I own a dog grooming salon. That's why. So we're both dog groomers. So then if we go digital, we'll at midnight I'll get someone that's booking a dog, tells me they're only 30 pounds, and then next morning it has to be there at like 7 o'clock in the morning. I'm like, what is this? And then I do something like that, and half the time no one knows the weight. So then they bring this huge matted dog in, and you already quoted this, so you're like, yeah, I'm just gonna not go the digital route and just write everything down. So then if people show up and like, no, I had an appointment, you're like, yeah, well, it's not written down. So
yeah,
no, you didn't.
As a business owner, no, you did not.
Exactly.
right? Yeah.
Yep.
So
Makes it easier.
6:21 on a Saturday, I think. What time does it start?
6 o'clock.
6 o'clock.
Mhm.
Is it all ages?
Oh, I'd assume so. It's at the
No,
Heritage Social Club.
For a air guitar competition,
Yep.
right?
I would assume so.
Yeah.
I don't think the Heritage is 21 is all ages anymore. I think when the
Mm.
new owners came by, they made it strictly 21.
Restricted it, did they?
Yeah.
Well, that wasn't cool of them.
Yeah. Why not?
Okay, well, it is what it is.
But yeah, if I can, I definitely will. I just have a 2-year-old, full-time daddy with all of that. So
I understand. Yeah, my
Of
kids are
course.
now full raising teenagers, and I don't have to babysit them so hard anymore. It's kind of nice.
Oh, it makes it nice.
Yeah.
Yep, grown-up problems.
Right.
Well, let's jump into music here, gentlemen. Let's jump into music a little bit. Let's have you tell us about what you guys are working on. What's the new Fall of Fathom?
Well, new would be more of a different direction, I guess, per se. Still kind of keeping our ambient sound and those cool, instruments, fast drums, but kind of going more of the heavier route with things rather than pretty.
Okay.
Makes sense.
Less clean, more raw.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Gotcha.
And it is way more of a raw feeling to everything. So it's kind of what the band was introduced and was trying to create from the get-go, long ass time ago. So
We were just listening to some videos, really good. Videos are solid. I'm jealous. I've been wanting to do a music video forever. Who did your videography?
So first guy was Tanner Simpson, and then the next guy was Mario. Don't remember his last name, but he was part of what was it?
Integral Films.
Integral Films. So he did a great job though on the music videos.
Yeah,
So
great job.
It's hard because now we have to compare stuff to that. What is this?
This is
Special drink.
pear wood chips.
Mm-hmm. Cheers, gentlemen.
Cheers.
Cheers. It smells good.
What's
So-
better this time?
When I watched this video, that was the first time I seen the smoked drink. All right, I was like, that's pretty rad. So it was my birthday was coming up. I was like, let's have fun with it. We got the little smoker, and the little wood chips, and we tried smoking a few things. Smoked shots of tequila.
Yeah, we did.
Smoked some beers.
Yeah, smoked everything,
Oh, yeah,
really.
yeah, I would.
Yeah, to be real.
Just having a good time with it, and it really adds like a whole extra experience when you're taking
Yeah,
at
it
least
does.
the first couple of drinks, right, before it dissipates.
I think the whole thing, because you can continue to smell it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, so it just adds a little bit more zazz.
Yeah, it does.
No, I know it does. Like definitely, that's why I was like, "Whoa, okay."
Yeah, and so
I like the color.
it's fun.
Dude,
It's a sweet color.
That's
Right.
metal.
Mhm.
Green's a metal color for sure.
So
Yeah.
definitely a lot better without the melon liqueur.
But yeah, we do have. If you guys need to, we do have a little snippet of some song that's brand new. If you guys ever want to hear it? Kind
Yeah,
of,
maybe try sticking it up to the microphone and see if it comes through. If not, I could cut it out.
yeah. If it does, yeah, we can try that.
Yeah, so editing is good.
Yep. Luckily, we know how to edit.
Got a good program.
See if this is the right one.
Good. Like that. That's moshy.
That's metal.
I want to start thrashing right now.
That's living a bound tour.
So what's the name of the song?
What was it?
Still you wonder why.
Yeah.
I have it saved as Bingus. So.
Yeah, we tend even when we finish a song and it has a name to it, we tend to always still stick to the demo name because we know what we're talking about, and it's hard to like, especially when a song's been a demo for so long. So getting it transferred over to the new name and addressing it as such is always kind of harder. So yeah, this one is Bingus. That's what it was presented to us as, and it'll probably stay that way for a while. On the album, it won't be that. So that's what it always will be.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully that comes through, and then if it does, we'll just leave it in. So
Yeah, it's
Oh,
a
yeah.
little bit.
yeah, your guys' music is really has a lot of energy, a lot of drive. I like
I
it.
appreciate that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you a lot.
Mhm.
This guy.
Yeah. Do you do shared writing of the songs? Who's the
That one was written by our other guitar player. His name's Olus,
okay?
and he's written like I think 2 or 3. That's one of them. Aside from playing bass, I play a lot of guitar also, and this upcoming EP that we're still constructing, I have maybe
He has
3.5.
He has his more influence. So they're like all the music that you guys is out right now that everyone can hear. Only one Olas wrote, which is Dream Eater, and then everything before that has been me. And then him a little bit touching in just by learning it all through the steps, and then but he didn't really have much creative control over those particular songs that are out right now that everyone's listening to. So, not really, huh? They're
Yeah.
pre-written.
Yeah, when I those songs that are already the first EP that was written, it was already written pretty much, and they just needed someone to come in and like, hey, these are the bass parts, just learn them and
Same
just
with
play 'em.
Dissemble, Reflections.
Yeah, Dissemble and Reflections.
Cataclysm.
Yeah,
That was
those. It was during that time when I was like really just starting to kind of getting a little bit more comfortable being in a band. At that point, it was maybe a year or 2.5 years in.
Granted, these songs were already like written on the computer.
Yeah,
When we say written, that they weren't like, here we have this whole entire song we gotta learn. Because he's been in the band for what now, 5 years?
this year will be 5 years.
So 5 years, but it still was like those songs that are out right now that are people listening to were written like a couple years prior than the release, of course, obviously.
Mhm.
For some reason,
Mhm.
it takes that long.
Yeah.
Don't know why. But
Well, sometimes it does. Sometimes songs come like that. You never know.
Yeah.
Sometimes you work on them forever, right?
Yeah.
And they don't never feel complete.
Yep.
It's just the name of the game. Let's talk about the members in your band. Who is in your band right now? What's their names? What do they do? And tell us how kick-ass they are.
So you met Ryan Sparrow, right? The drummer.
Yeah.
So he's still there. He's
Okay.
been an OG member so far. So basically, me and him are the OG members of the band.
Okay.
And then we have him on the bass, me on the lead/rhythm guitar, Olas on lead and rhythm guitar, and then now Rodney Zuber on vocals.
So there's two of you that play vocals and guitar,
No. Well, I mean, we
or
can,
just lead and guitar. Okay. I
Yeah,
gotcha.
we can do lead. We can do vocals. Olas definitely can, and I definitely
I
can
cannot
do
do
screams.
vocals and play. As soon as I start trying to open my mouth when I'm
Yeah,
playing
it's
guitar, I fall apart.
Yeah. That's why it's hard. But I can definitely jump in and do some like shouts and yelling kind of things, or back harmonies of like low growls and stuff like that. But Olas can sing. He really can. Putting that out there on the internet right now.
Yes.
Don't
You heard it first.
Yeah,
don't,
that I
don't let
can
anyone tell you
sing.
otherwise.
Yep.
And he just won't do it. He said, if I write a chorus everyone wants to hear, then I have to sing it 1,000 times. I'm like, yeah, because you can do it. That's the point.
Mhm. So I see you guys got a show coming up here at the Neurolux with Bloody Wood. Is an Indian death metal band,
Yep.
right?
Yeah.
I was watching some of their stuff. I've never heard of them, so I was like, all right, so who is this? And,
They kind of like
they're kinda
blew
cool.
up. Yeah, they
Yeah.
kind of like blew up with baby metal in that like whole TikTok era.
Ah.
You know, where they just put out little TikTok reels and then they kind of blew up that way. So it was just it's been interesting because they came to us about the whole said situation. He got an email and was just like, "Bloody wouldn't." We were literally 3 months ago, no joke. Me and him I was just talking to him about like, dude, you've heard this band? He goes, oh yeah, Bloody Wood. Oh yeah, these guys are sick. These guys are this. And then I'm like, shit, they just put out some new music. He goes, oh cool. And then we get an email. Hey,
Yeah,
you
we
guys
get an
wanna
email
open up
from
for
the-
Bloody Wood.
Yeah, from
That
the
must have
production
felt really
team.
good.
I was like, whoa.
I was at work and I was in the back and I was like, I read it like maybe 10 times over and I was like,
Are you sure?
and at the Neurolux too. What a cool venue to play
Yeah,
at.
I love Neurolux.
I haven't played there
me
yet.
neither.
Me neither, but I've been to many shows there, and they're amazing.
They just upgraded their sound system, didn't they?
Yes,
No
they
joke.
did.
I don't know.
Yes, they did.
Very nice.
Oh, it's so far what I've heard, it's legit. So
From what
You're
I
about
can
to find
remember,
out.
the Neurolux makes some of the strongest drinks in Boise. So
In downtown Boise.
you gotta be careful.
yeah, they do.
Yeah, they'll get you.
They will
Yeah.
definitely get you sideways.
That's right. Yeah, they don't skimp on the booze.
No.
Why would you?
Yeah, it's on July 13th on a Sunday.
Yeah, that's a great day to have a show, right? Like, it's because the weekends have been pretty busy, at least for me.
Well, during the summer, it's totally a-okay to be on a
Mhm.
Sunday night, because that's where Sunday nights were $1 PBRs at Mulligan's, $2 drafts at Neurolux. There's just this whole deal going on because it's Sunday, so they're trying to bring everyone there. So
Yep.
Yeah, downtown's always popping off in the summer.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
Cactus
Oh,
Guts
yeah.
deals.
Yep, and Cactus. Yep, exactly. So
Mhm.
everything's just within drunken walking distance.
Yeah, it is. Yep. Yeah, a drunken walkabout.
It maintains your drunken abilities, though, so you can be like, oh, I can get drunk here and then go here and get drunk. Sweet. I can go, oh, sweet. All right.
So we like to talk about the gear that you guys use. So you're a guitarist and a bass guitarist. Well, let's start with you, Miguel. Let's
We use
Tell
right
us-
now, or
yeah.
have
Tell us about
Or that you love, whatever you want to talk about.
What's your guitars that you use? The amps, effects, pedals. Kind of give us the lowdown on your setup.
You're gonna hate us right now because it's the simplest thing. In the
Yeah,
world.
we don't.
No, this is what we want
We
to
don't
know.
discriminate.
Yeah,
This is what we want to know.
All of us, I mean, even myself included, we don't run any pedals or anything. No pedal boards, no nothing. I just go straight into my bass. I have quite. Actually, I only have like 3 of them that I mainly use from my guitar.
Mhm.
There's another brand. He has pretty much every guitar from them almost.
Yeah, I was
Just
looking at your guitars. Are
Yeah.
beautiful. Yes.
I brought some.
Yeah, personally, I'm more of a Schecter guy,
Mm.
but I have a couple good ones from my guitar also.
Oh, yeah.
But I go from that. I have a 2017 Helio 5-string, which is killer. I bought it with like a dark glass preamp already loaded onto it that someone put in there before I bought it.
Thank you, upgrades.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And then I also have a 2020. I don't know the model name. I just know it's a multi-scale, 37-inch, 30 multi-scale on the low, and then 34 on the high with active.
So multi-scale bass guitar.
Yeah.
Oh, nice. I just tried out the multi-scale here just recently for the first time, and I was like,
Bass or guitar?
what now?
Bass or guitar?
It was a guitar, and I've never got to play with one, and I've always wanted to know like is the chords going to fit right, and I started playing. I was like, I can probably get used to that pretty quickly.
Yeah.
It's not bad at all.
Yeah, the way that the fan works, it works. I mean, in my experience, it works when with your with the angle of your wrist. Because when you're doing a straight fret, personally, I like straight fret guitars. I can play a multi-scale. I just prefer straight frets. When you're straight fretting, you kind of have to angle your wrist a little bit differently. With the multi-scale, you can it's kind of an easier flow with it.
More relaxed holding.
Exactly. Yeah, I found that whenever I'm trying to write like leads or anything, I always gravitate towards a multi-scale.
Should have brought my guitar in. I could
right.
have shown exactly right now. It's in my truck.
It's just a little easier that way. Yeah.
If you want me, I can go grab a multi-scale since you're talking about it. I have
No, we're good. But we might check that out later. Yes, before you go.
Okay, and then for your cabs?
For cabs, I was using an Ampeg VST 410. I just recently traded up one of my guitars that I had for a Mesa 212. I haven't had a chance to try it out yet. We're probably going to try it out tonight because we have rehearsal tonight. Probably give that a shot tonight, see how that sounds. And then before that, in between that, I'm going from my bass into I have a Shure B8 BLX wireless into my Helix rack. And that's what I use for all my tones. We're all digital. We go through digital modelers and stuff. I use that for all my tones. From there into my Seymour Duncan Power Stage 700, which is great. And then from there into my cap.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Nice.
All right. Tanner, what are you running?
Nothing.
Nothing. Don't play.
It plays itself.
It plays itself.
Exactly. Dude.
Watch
I
the
see
solo.
there's backtracks going, and I just
starts
fake it.
playing.
I just fake the entire
Air guitar.
Yep.
Yep.
You guys
621.
were just talking about air guitar. That's what I do. You called me out. No, so we same kind of thing. I just go directly into my Power Stage, Seymour Duncan Power Stage 700, and right into the computer, and I just run Gojira tones through Neural DPS,
Can't go wrong there.
and then just modulate it. So
So do you run a CGC FAD tuning on your guitar?
no, not C. No,
No,
so
not C?
we do drop E standard on the 8 strings, and then we do this funky tuning that I kind of adopted. You go to F, right? So I could drop F tuning on a 7 string, but you put it into an 8 string, so then you get a higher. But instead of going with the normal stance of like tuning on the 5th fret, you would go, what is it, up an octave, right?
Yes.
Yes. So
I
you
think
go
so.
up an octave on the 3rd string rather than down, and it gives you a completely open chord of F. So it's just like you get in a 6th string, you play that chord F. Now it's on an 8 string. All 8 strings, you just strum it open. It's that F. So it sounds really cool and unique, and that's what like Reflections, our song is. That's what that tuning is in. Sustain is in that tuning. A lot of our songs are actually in that tuning, but you can't really notice it because it's just an octave higher than E.
Oh, well, it's
dropped.
good that you mess around with tunings because obviously some tunings have been overdone, right? And then those songs start sounding like a band that you already know.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But you try to go and play like a normal chord or something in this tuning, and it doesn't happen. It's not working for you. You're just like, okay, I have to throw this pinky. Oh man. And then that kind of breaks it down to why I went to the multi-scale more, is because finding these different tunings rather than staying in that way. Multi-scales opened it up to where when you want to actually play a chord, it's easier.
Yeah.
With a straight fret in that tuning, it's like, all right, dude, we're going to play D, but we got to do this real quick. Spread like 5 frets. And it hurts. And it's hard to do that real quickly, So the multi-scale works when you're going to do funky drop tunings. But then I run modulated all MIDI controlled, so I don't have to switch my guitars, and we just tune it up, pitch shift it up. And then I have a cab that I put vintage 30s in. So it's just a 4x.
Custom made, very nice. Love custom stuff. You guys got a new music video coming out soon? We want to see more.
Yeah. We want to make more.
We're ready.
I know.
Right.
It's just going to be difficult because our videographer guy moved to Kansas,
Oklahoma or Kansas.
or something like that. So we still have Tanner, but we have to pay more money for Tanner. So we're kind of like,
We're thinking about going the DIY route with
Mhm.
our next music video, just to
Yep.
try it out, just see what we can do, and
Yeah.
just kind of go from there.
I mean, yeah, I have a cool video editor guy that's a friend. So I mean,
That's a big part of it.
yeah, exactly. That's why we just want to see what we can do, because we have Mario left us. We have a lot to compare to that music video to make sure that it's the same. What I'm talking about, like the same feeling and vibe still is captured, like it did the audience.
Yeah.
The Dream Eater captured. They're like, "Oh, that was interesting. I want more of those music videos." Well, our guy left, so we're not to figure out how we have to do it ourselves.
But maybe having something different isn't a bad thing all the time. Maybe you find the person that has that pizzazz that that
Mhm.
makes your vision just explode, right?
Either that or you guys level up.
That's what.
Yeah,
that's
that too.
where that's my outlook on it. It's like, well, it's just time for us guys to level up and
Yep.
become one and get it done.
I've been planning out a music video for a long time, and I kind of got the process like worked out on my mind. Right, you take one film day for filming the band rocking out and some scenery. Right, literally they don't even have to have things plugged in. They could just sit there and just do that. Right, take lots of that, and then the next day you film your cinematic whatever it is
Concept.
and then you just take those two and you kind of splice them in. It's as simple as that.
It is.
And I really do believe music videos have a lot of power in the music industry to boost us now. Like for us, like I really want us to focus on that versus just playing live, which is great.
So how we did that with Dream Eater is we did it in 3 days, but we did all of it mainly in 2 days. And we did exactly how you just said that. With our cinematics was at the house, and we did all of those shots at the house and the pool. And then when we did all of our live shots of us, it was cool because we were able to get one day and knock 2 different settings and 2 different scenes out of the whole entire music video in one day by renting out this shop that had like a photo shop, it had all the white walls and stuff.
Yeah.
And then there's a big ass parking lot, so we just set up the rain scene out there and set up our other scene in there. So
Sounds like Cat setup.
yeah. So it was Cats.
Yep.
So
Sounds exactly like Cats. We just got pictures done by her. It's a
No,
couple
it
years
was,
ago.
it was a
But
long time ago.
yeah, she
couple years ago.
her brother doesn't have that spot anymore.
Mm.
But yeah, it's that exact spot right there is where we shot the Dream Eater music video for
Cool.
the rain scene and stuff like that. So yeah, it is that easy. It's just getting a lot of the shots.
It's a lot of work. It's a lot of planning. There's a lot of pre-planning, right? Because you gotta plan everything: the scenes, the pre-production, the props, whatever you're using.
it's easier if you put one foot in
location.
front
Well,
of four.
that's
Yeah.
what was easy with Mario is that he did all of that.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Now it's different, and we all have to. And then if we all have to, there's going to be this person wants that, this wants that, this wants this. It's going to be like, why don't we just make it simple? Then why not have to pay someone $2,000 and just have them make the vision for us?
Right. Yeah, we need more videographers in this area for sure.
We do.
It's hard. Just like drummers. Come on, drummers.
Bass players.
Yeah, the rare bass player.
It's a
What
rare,
the heck?
never elusive.
Nope. It's like a unicorn.
Drummers and bass players.
Did you see that bass player?
Is that bass?
Oh shit!
It's like that's a weird looking guitar.
And then the guitar player walks off the crowd. Everyone's like, "Good job, good job." And then bass player, everyone's like, "Hey, dude, you play bass?
Mhm.
Wow!"
Yeah, trying to.
And then same with the
like,
drummer.
I'll pay you to come play with us.
Yeah, see, exactly. That's Boise, Idaho.
The bass is the new vocals.
That's true.
Yep, the most popular
Interesting.
person.
That is very true.
Yep,
It has literally flip flopped.
yep. Times have shifted.
Yep.
Yep. The bass is in charge now.
Yeah.
You are the foundation of
Yeah.
the band.
Well, it just took everyone forever to find that out,
Right. Yep.
I think that's why all of us were cracking so many jokes trying to keep the bass player down
Right,
here so
down
no one
below.
knew the secret.
Yep.
You know?
They knew
Now
back
the
in
secret's out.
They knew back in the day, though. Think about like music from the 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s. They were all bass-driven songs. It wasn't a guitar-driven song. The guitar was a backup, putting emphasis on the bass.
Shredding, so everyone's like, "Oh wow, he's more impressive." But
Yep,
then everyone's
yep.
like sitting there dancing to the bass,
To the bass and the drums.
not
Absolutely.
Give
not
the
the
rhythm.
guitar
Yep.
at all. And then sitting there and looking at tight pants and the singer and just like, I want that
They like the smooth voice.
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah.
It's that
With the
smooth
bass.
voice, right?
Well, you want to move on?
Yeah, you got any more in music?
No, I think I'm done with
You're
that.
done. All right, let's jump into some video games, gentlemen. Do you play video games?
Every day.
Okay, let's hear it. What are you playing?
Right now, me and a couple buddies from back home really got into Counter-Strike 2,
Okay.
and it's really been
Shit, you ran out of Counter-Strike, huh?
yeah, it's really been taking over my dedicated writing time.
I have a Counter-Strike story for you.
Oh, do you? Okay, perfect. So that's something me and my buddies are really getting into. I just got into the Outer Worlds. I just watched the Xbox Live Showcase, and they're coming out with a bunch of new games, and it's a couple of sequels to games that I should have played a long time ago, which is why I'm just now getting into the Outer Worlds, which has been amazing so far.
At least you're catching up.
Right?
Yep.
So that way, I'm hoping right when I get bored of that game, I can just go and play the sequel right when it comes out.
Hell yeah.
I play a lot of Overwatch 2. That one's been really, really fun so far.
Overwatch is Blizzard, right?
Yes.
Yep. Okay.
I play Overwatch. Diablo 4. Been into that.
Into the
I'll
new
make
Diablo,
another one
okay.
here.
I love Diablo. Waiting for the new Path of Exile 2 to come out for free because I don't really want to play it when it's like I think it's in like a beta or something.
A testing mode.
For a test. Once it's fully released, the band won't see me for a good month or two.
Yeah, that's their
when
problem.
that comes out, right?
You remember, you are the foundation of the band.
Right.
You now make the
Absolutely.
rules. It's not the lead singer. It's not the guitar players. Right?
Don't
You are
worry
in
about
charge.
Yep.
You're the lowest on the totem pole.
Right.
Says the guitar players.
Yeah.
Know your place, rookie.
Right. I've always been into the Souls-like games, Dark Souls 1, 2, 3.
Heavy duty games. Those are hard.
Yes,
Yeah.
I love them.
Challenge.
Yeah, I love them a lot. Elden Ring, I've
Ooh,
played,
Elden Ring was tough.
played a whole bunch of times already.
Yeah,
I
it was a
love
good
it
one.
so much.
Did you complete it?
Huh?
Did you complete it?
Haven't completed it.
Okay.
That's the truth.
Just playing casual?
Yeah, I just go through. I just make a new character if I want to do a magic run, pure strength, faith, using a bunch of different spells and different strategies and stuff like that.
dude.
What? I know. I've already completed Dark Souls 1, 2, and 3. I don't have a PlayStation, so I can't play like Bloodborne, which is another popular one that's similar that a lot of people love.
Coming out with a 2 here soon, aren't they?
Bloodborne 2?
I believe so. Isn't that one that's coming out soon? I could be wrong.
Well, a lot of people are anticipating it. They think they only think that because the game is semi-old. They had put out a mod that allowed it to run at like a higher frame rate at a higher resolution, and the company that made the game had put out something where they can't have that up on the internet anymore, and it took that away from a lot of people, and it was that had sparked people's interest. They're like, oh, they're coming out with a second game because they don't want
Yeah, why wouldn't they want mods, right?
exactly.
Yeah, this isn't Skyrim. Come on.
Yeah. But so far, no. As far as I know, no official news on a second game. I'm sure once that comes out, everyone's going to be shitting their pants.
I think a new game's coming out. Speculation, but I think number 2's coming out.
Yeah.
Yep.
But
I ain't falling for it. I ain't falling for the jive, right?
Yep.
Like, people didn't know Oblivion was coming out. How do you not know a remastered version of Elder Scrolls Oblivion is not coming out?
I want to play that so much.
Looks cool.
It does. It looks so cool compared to the pictures of the old one to
The classic,
new
yep.
one.
Yeah,
Oh,
kids
yeah.
have the classic on, I think we got it on PS3, PS2 maybe?
Yeah.
See, my son is the video gamer, and I'm not. anymore. Sadly,
Did you play video games when you were younger, though?
Yeah,
Oh,
did
yeah.
you play?
Yeah,
What have you
yeah,
played?
I
Were
was
you
heavy
a
into
PlayStation guy?
but I was like SOCOM.
oh, dude, I
SOCOM
love
was sick.
SOCOM.
Yeah,
SOCOM
like
was
SOCOM
awesome.
Online.
I spent tons of time.
Oh
on that
yeah,
game.
Because you
that
can
was,
customize.
Oh,
that was-
bro.
that was my shit.
I haven't even thought about that game in a long time. That was such a fun sniper game.
Yep.
Yeah.
That was why I just
Yeah.
love being the snipers.
You
And
have to
then
be
of
sneaky.
course Call of Duty, when first Nazi zombies come out.
Oh, bro, yeah.
Zombies is the greatest game ever created because you cannot beat it.
Yes. Yeah. And then I can't remember the game. Was it like Dead Space? That's the one. Yes.
Oh, the horror game.
Dead
Love,
Space, yep.
Love
yeah,
that
Dead
one
Space
too.
was fun.
Yep. Quality.
That one, yep.
Quality.
Well, I mean, I hadn't continued because I have 4 kids
Mm.
and own a business.
So you're saying your time is limited.
Yeah.
Isn't that-
And the last thing
Is
I
that
do.
shitty when you become an adult and you're like, shit, I don't have time for shit?
Yeah, I became an adult overnight, and then just decided to keep stacking more shit on top of myself for some reason. I don't know why.
Yeah, challenge yourself to grow.
I guess that's what it is.
It's
Yeah.
good for you.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
It keeps me in and out of trouble.
One thing I'm excited about for these video games is, there's been talk of these VR glasses that you wear, right? Just a normal pair of
the
glasses.
Apple glasses or something
Yeah,
like that.
exactly.
Not like the big. OP
No, not
Yeah.
not like the Quest VR and all these,
No.
not all these VR craps, right? That are giant fucking thing on your head. Who's gonna walk around? That's how you get run over by a truck.
Yeah,
No, just like-
exactly.
Just like glasses like you're wearing right now,
Yeah.
where it just puts a screen in front of your eye, right? God, I'm waiting for that. Tony Stark shit.
Dude, they
Right.
have that. The Apple.
That's what I'm saying. It's coming
Apple
out.
Vision or
Yeah, but
whatever.
I don't have it.
Oh, yeah.
I don't have it in my hands. They haven't given it to the peasants yet. When can you get it? Right?
Well,
Come on now.
over at 8 the Games, I got the VR with the treadmill thing on.
Yeah, the full body
Bro,
VR.
I want to go try that.
Yeah, that thing looks sick, but I mean, that does not compare to wearing a light pair of glasses on your head, walking around and just thinking that you're playing a video game. You don't need your hands anymore, right?
Yeah.
To where it's smart and it just reads your mind and you're playing a video game
Yeah,
while you're
'cause it
fucking
just
running
goes,
around.
It goes like this thing right in here, and there's just a sensor to your brain, and then boom, everything just goes off of a thought, and you can just use your eyes to like
Mhm.
scroll and
Yep, do whatever.
to switch the pages. Yeah,
That'll be
That's
the day.
wild.
yeah, no, that's already there.
It is already there. This is the stuff
Yeah.
that they're working on, right? But
now.
it's like, are they going to give it to us? Are they going to give it to the public, or is this
No,
a thing?
they're gonna have the military have it first, then they'll give it to us.
that's how it goes.
Once the military has the new dated stuff, the outdated stuff that they just surged and made, then they'll sell it to the world.
Possibly.
Maybe.
Strings.
Yeah, I'm ready.
Unless unless someone else gets their hands on it. That's usually how it works. Or if it's Apple, then you never know what's going to happen.
True that. Copyright infringements.
It'll just come out instantly, and you'll be like, wait, what?
Yep, most definitely. Well, I'd say that's probably it on the old video games here. David, why don't you take us into some TV, dude?
All right.
We got on the
let
old
me see here.
TV.
Okay. Well, all right. Let's start with you guys. You into any TV shows? What about you, Tanner?
I'm not really a TV show guy. I'm all about movies.
Well, we're going to get into the movies here in a second.
So, like,
Is there any TV shows that you were into?
Have been into?
Have been into? Anything that like was really?
like Batman
Whoa.
Beyond.
We're not done yet.
Your Jackie,
Oh, yeah, we gotta smoke
Jackie
it.
Chan
Just calm down
Adventures.
That's right. I'm getting excited.
That's the shit I was into, not gonna lie.
What now?
I said what? Like
Animated?
Jackie Chan Adventures.
Oh,
And Batman.
So you like the
Batman Beyond.
Nice. Dude, Batman Beyond is so good. I'm waiting for them to make a live action Batman Beyond.
Everyone's asking for it.
Yeah, everyone. Like, what is wrong with
Michael
Hollywood?
Keaton already suggested it.
Do they
He
not
already-
like money?
Well,
Right?
no, Michael
No, they
Keaton,
like money.
Michael Keaton already suggested that to some producers by saying that after he did the role of Batman with in the Flash, he said he's not opposed to the idea of being an older Batman. And he goes, so why don't we just do a Batman Beyond? He's like, even if it's a series,
Yeah.
because that's how it was in the shows, you know.
Love it. Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah, sorry, Waterboy.
I'm sober, sorry.
Don't treat the bass player like that. He's a prized possession.
Don't abuse them.
Gatorade.
Someone will try to take it from you.
Somebody will try to swipe.
Water sucks.
How about Ren and Stimpy? You ever watch Ren and Stimpy?
No, I have not.
I have. I used to.
Yeah.
Quality.
Very interesting. I didn't. I mean, at the time, like when you're a kid, like you don't think about it, and then when you watch, at least a lot of those shows, you watch it or
From the
some
past.
clips as adults.
Mhm.
It's like I don't remember that.
Right, and there's innuendos all over.
Everywhere.
the place. That was a wrong show. Like, no wonder my parents hated it. They were getting it, and I was just like, ha, ha, ha.
Right? You're like, this is awesome.
Yeah. But that show ran from let's see, from 1991 to 1996, and
5-year run.
5 seasons. Yep.
Mhm.
And amazing. It was a big show when I was growing up, and
Yes,
I
it
used
was.
to actually draw. I mean, I won like an art contest when I was in high school one time because I drew like this whole comic on a page of Ren and Stimpy, and I'm sure it was pretty lame, but I won. So
Dude, that's cool.
yeah, Ren and Stimpy, great artwork and twisted humor.
So do you still like to draw and everything?
I if I had time, I would. I play guitar.
Yes, time.
That's my
You make the time.
yeah.
That's exactly what I was just about to say.
Yep.
Nah, I got too many hobbies.
Not
Yeah,
a thing. My
guitar
dude.
player,
Nope.
podcaster. I'm going to be a film producer here soon. That's what I'm studying right now is film producing. Right, I want to make my own music videos. I want to make short films. I want to enter into the short film festivals.
Dude, are you gonna do it?
I am 100%.
Please.
Yeah.
We were
No,
just talking about that.
I'm
We need more
100%
people like
serious.
you.
Yep, it is already a plan. I mean, this is one part of it right here. This podcast that we're doing,
That makes
our
total
music
sense.
videos that we're talking about,
We're
our
learning
band.
how to edit this
Yep.
way. Yeah.
Yep, this
Wow,
is all encompassing.
That
Mhm.
makes sense. You guys are smart. I
Yep,
like
we're
you
trying.
guys.
We're low tech pirates here.
Yeah,
Doing
exactly.
what we can
I
do,
love
dude.
that. I love that idea.
Mhm.
Entrepreneur ways of
Yep.
music.
My advice to you guys when we were talking about this earlier, when we were talking music, was you guys have said we just got to do it ourselves. You just got to do it yourselves, right? Put one foot in front of the other. Write down a plan, like David and I write plan for this podcast.
And
right?
that's an important part. You have
Very
to write
important
it
part.
down.
Write it down.
Mhm.
Write down what your idea is, and one foot in front of the other. Figure out the steps you need to go to, and just go do it. You'll find out that you can do it, and it's not as hard as you think.
That's 100% true.
Mhm.
Just like this podcast, when we first were talking about it, we were like, man, it sounds impossible. I don't know how we're going to do. We were just brave enough just to go for it, right?
Wasn't the saying like once you write it down, it's already half solved?
Yep, pretty
Is that
much.
what
That's
that
part of the
is?
problem. Yeah, and
Yep.
David and I have talked about this. You could talk all you want, right? Say you want to do this, say you want to get this done, until you write it down and make it a dream essentially and a goal. You're probably not going to do it. But once you write it down, that's half the battle right there, essentially,
Mhm.
right? Now your next step after it's written down, put that into action.
Well, find
Go out and do it.
the actionable things that you could do 1st
Mhm.
and then take care of those,
Yep.
right? Because if you write them down, you usually find one or two that you could actually just start right now,
Mhm.
right?
Yep.
I need a nitro remote control car, dude.
Mm. So, how about you, Miguel? You in any TV shows? You a TV guy?
Recently, not really, not too big on like the Netflix or Hulu. From a younger age, I was big into like Family Guy. I still am. I sometimes,
Oh yeah,
Wait.
South Park Family Guy. I
yeah,
forgot
South
about
Park,
that.
Family
Oh,
Guy.
of
course.
Sometimes when I'm bored, I'll just put on a season and then I'll just let it run. Family Guy, I really love. South Park is really
You
nice.
can't go wrong with either of
You
those.
can't go wrong at
Yeah.
all.
I'm more into anime. I like that kind of stuff.
Oh, yeah.
too.
What's one of your favorite animes?
One of my favorites will always be Death Note.
So good. I love
I
Death
love
Note.
it.
The
Love
anime
Death
is
Note.
way better than the movie, and the movie was freaking awesome.
Yeah, there was one movie. There was a Japanese version of the movie. That was actually really, really good. The American Netflix version,
Mhm.
I didn't even bother.
Yeah, I
wasn't
actually
a
thought
fan.
it was pretty good.
It wasn't horrible.
but compared to the anime, which was way more in depth on the story,
Yeah.
it was. I mean, it was lacking, but you can only fit so much story in a hour and a half or
Right.
whatever movie, right?
Yeah,
Even two.
Yeah.
Death Note's a big one. Berserk from I think it was 97 or 98,
Mhm.
the original, like the old school animation and stuff like that.
Oh, yeah.
Is one of my favorites. That one, Cowboy Bebop's really good. Samurai Champloo and stuff.
Did you like the Cowboy Bebop TV show that they put on? What was it? I think it was Netflix or Hulu, one of the two.
I did not watch that's the live action.
Yeah,
right?
it was live action.
Okay, I'll probably actually end up giving that one a shot.
It wasn't horrible.
Okay.
I'll tell you that. It wasn't horrible.
Mm-hmm.
As far as anime goes, the Castlevania series on Netflix is
Yep.
baller. I don't know if you ever played Castlevania.
I've
at
never
all,
played it. My sister's always bugging me. They're like, "Have you watched it yet?
but even
Have you
if
finished it yet?" And I was like, "I haven't even started it. I got to start all over on it now."
even if you've never played it, that is a badass anime. They did so good on the storyline. They even expanded on the story. It was really good. If anyone's a fan of Castlevania, highly recommend. Right. What about you, Chad? You into any TV shows?
No, I don't watch
right
TV,
now?
but I am waiting for the Trimmers TV show to come out
Oh,
with Kevin Bacon.
come on, Kevin Bacon.
I'm excited for that.
Yep.
Right? You guys like the Trimmers?
I do like Trimmers.
I can't believe he's coming back.
I know, I can't either.
Yeah.
Trimmers are a subterranean ancient worm that when they hear vibrations, they assume that's food. That's all right. So
See, he's okay with that. You guys give you, Francis, and like I think like maybe 3 other people give me so much shit. You guys make a movie reference, and I'm like, what? And then you guys bully me for it.
well, that's part of it. That's part of the culture.
He's the bass player.
Yeah.
It's hard to watch every single movie and TV show that's a cult classic that's come out, right? Because there's obscure ones that even the most hardcore fan just hasn't heard of for some reason, right?
Mhm.
That's part of
It's
it
like
being a
when
cult
someone
classic.
says they've never watched Back to the Future. I'm like, are you even American?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Doc, rewind it.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I am excited for? That you're talking about shows.
Let's hear it.
And who's coming back right now
hmm
is Spaceballs 2.
Yeah, Spaceballs too, but that's a
Great
movie.
movie.
I know,
Yes.
but
Will be good.
the guy's coming back.
Yep, pretty excited for
Can't
that.
believe it.
I know.
I didn't know they're turning Tremors into a show.
Yes, I believe with Kevin Bacon coming back,
Yeah,
that should
Kevin.
be interesting.
I knew Kevin was coming back. I didn't know it was going to be turned into a show. Like,
Yep.
Of course, I'll be 10 episodes.
Yep.
Like
Dang
why,
right.
why can't these guys make like 14.5 episodes, right? Just to shake it up a little bit. You know,
That's true.
Yeah.
I've always wondered that.
I'm
Because
so
there's an algorithm.
But
I'm so
exactly,
sick
I
of
was
the
going to say, it
10
has to be
episode.
like an algorithm of like money wise.
There's an
I guess
algorithm.
you can make more money off of each episode than you can a movie. Right?
Sure can.
Yeah, what I think is some, corporate executive or someone that counts the money is like, well, if we break it up into 10 episodes and we can divvy it up, it'll be easier to do the calculations, you know.
And more for
and
the
so they're making
production
money
company.
based off the making movies based off the money, not
Yeah, but it's
making
definitely
art for art.
so. Hey, the way actors it works is they walk into a film or show and they get a flat rate. Like this is what I'm doing right for this whole entire show. So that's easy. Let's break it up into 10 episodes. Off the first 3 episodes, we already made our money plus some to pay the actors.
Right.
Now we still have 6 more episodes that's going to go straight to us.
Yep, business plan.
Makes sense.
Yep, sure does. Did you see that the X-Men 97 crew will be at the Washington State Comic-Con?
Are they?
Yep.
Oh man,
All of them?
they killed it. With that
Almost
cartoon.
all of them. I can't guarantee all of them, of course, because there's always call-outs. There's always shift changes.
Did
Monkey
you watch,
business
you
that
watched
happens,
the
but-
original X-Men, right? How about you? Watch any of the X-Men? We
Uh,
won't hate you if you did. Okay.
I don't remember.
I grew up watching the X-Men.
I don't remember the
cartoons.
last one I watched. It was a movie. I just don't remember which one it was.
If you watched the X-Men cartoon when you were young, you have the theme song burnt into your brain
Mhm.
forever.
Oh, yeah.
Exactly. Yeah,
Yeah.
100%. Right.
Yeah.
As a guitar player, you know it by heart.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
it's such a ripping riff.
Yeah.
It's like,
Still ripping.
I need to learn it, but I just have the melody. That's a good call. I haven't even thought about that.
Mhm.
I have a
We learned it
Wolverine
not too long
bass.
ago.
they did learn it. Yeah.
Oh, I have a bass guitar that's wrapped in the old
Nice.
Wolverine and Sabretooth.
Sweet.
Yellow and
comic.
blue, baby.
Yeah. But
Oh, is
it's-
that the Dean bass?
Yeah, you saw
Oh,
that a long time ago.
I seen it. Yeah.
Yeah, I bought it.
Oh, you're the one who got it.
Yeah.
Oh man, I was eyeballing that. I was too poor to buy it. That was a
I'll
sick
sell it to
guitar.
you.
Yeah.
Yeah. 'cause you'd seen
Don't
me-
tempt him with a good time.
Oh right. Yeah. Dude, don't tell my wife. She thinks I have too many already.
Yeah, we'll edit this out. Don't worry.
We're talk about $200.
Get rid of the evidence.
You can afford $200.
Yeah, we're talking about that because that's I like that. Yeah.
Did you guys see the Ocean Gate TV shows on Netflix?
I did not.
So you can check it out. See that the sub wasn't meant to go down there.
Oh, no, I
all
did
the
see
monkey
that.
business.
Oh,
I didn't-
so much
you don't even
fun.
want to get me
Yeah.
started on conspiracies, man.
It's like a PlayStation 2 controller,
Oh,
barely a dual shock,
Blow
right?
your fucking brains out with conspiracies.
No, we like that around here. Yeah.
Okay, good,
Yeah.
because I'm all about that.
Oh yeah.
You got any more on TV?
I think that's it on TV. Why don't you bring it in on movies?
Let's do some movies, dude. Did you see Johnny Depp may or may not have agreed to do Pirates of the Caribbean 6.
No, he already agreed.
Yeah, oh yeah, long time
Time ago.
Yeah,
Yeah.
of course.
Apparently, Amber Heard didn't sink his career.
No. Like that was just because of what we were all dealing with the agenda of Hollywood in the last 8 years.
Give or take.
Yeah, exactly.
Which I'm really sick of.
Well, no, it's been like 25 years if you want to talk about that.
Give or take.
Well,
Yep.
Okay, we're talking 60 years ever since it all started. With
Lots of
television.
propaganda.
But yeah, ever since it's actually been going on since churches are involved. But that's why Disney is Disney. We all know the conspiracies of Disney, how they don't play by American laws because their land that they sit on is owned by who? Europe. So the kingdom, the king, the royalties. So they don't have to obey by the laws that go around here. So that's why it's been all weird and fishy. So whenever that kind of stuff and propaganda and like you're talking about gets blown up, they have to go. We have to pull up because our image is important because they have so much dirt. It's crazy, but I don't know. Johnny Depp, he's always going to be Captain Jack Sparrow.
Yeah, well,
Yeah,
only.
you can't replace
Just
him.
like Hugh Jackman and Wolverine.
Yep.
Yeah.
Who's going to be a better Wolverine?
It's like Wesley Snipes
Well,
in Blade.
They
I
are
don't
putting
know.
Henry on
the
there.
Calvarine.
The Calvarine-
Calvarine wasn't
pretty
bad.
convincing.
He looked the role.
Yes.
Right?
Are you sure it wasn't the motorcycle, though?
Exactly.
Could
I
have
was
been
just
the
about
Harley.
to say that.
Could have been the motorcycle.
Look, behind, he still looked like a young Hugh Jackman.
I want
That
to see
was,
it. I want to see the Calvarine.
I don't
You've
know,
heard it
dude.
here.
I think the Calvarine is too big because Wolverine's actually a small dude.
Yeah,
Yep, 5'4".
That's true.
Yeah, he's a tiny
Wolverine
guy.
was always supposed to be small, right? Just small and angry.
He's just
like
small
the biggest little
and
man
big.
syndrome in Earth, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So when you put Calvarine in it's not Wolverine. You know what I mean? Like Wolverine's not a big dude.
Mhm.
He's a small,
So
big dude.
it's the multiverse, though, right? They say it's part of the multiverse.
Right.
Can't go wrong. Okay, you guys see Young Guns 3 coming out? Emilio Estevez on board.
Mhm.
You seen the original Young Guns?
Yes.
Young Guns
Quality
1
movie.
and 2 are Hollywood classics.
Not only Hollywood classics, but based on true story.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And actors were all amazing. Movies were amazing. So both of them are like sit down and buckle in because it's a movie, right?
It's called
good.
Young Guns.
Young
Young
Guns.
Guns.
Okay.
You remember what is the song that they used the Young Guns?
What song was that?
Yeah, right.
I can't remember off the top of my head, honestly.
I feel embarrassed. I can't think of it
Well,
right now.
brush up.
If it comes back to me, but yeah, they've used it on music.
Oh yeah,
Music, yeah, clips from that.
Young Guns. I'm excited for number 3 to come out. I love the original 2. They, were coming out when we were kids. That was big when we were kids. The only thing bigger than Jean-Claude Van Damme, really.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, you got that guy and Lethal Weapon was pretty big too.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Okay, well, let's jump into our movie review. We got Spider-Man: No Way Home.
Oh God,
Yes. Yeah. We
I saw that right there.
we talked to you and
Yeah, you
you
did.
wanted to review Spider-Man: No Way Home.
Review. What about it? What about it?
We have a couple, things that we go about basing our review on. We got story, effects, rewatchability, actors, music, quotes, a couple other things. Anyways, we'll give it a ranking. Okay? From 1 to 69. We'll see how good it turned out.
Yeah. If you get a 69, that's a perfect score.
That's a
okay?
perfect score.
We just came
I
up
like
with
that
this ranking this week.
Allegedly.
Yeah, it was 1 to 60, but then we added on. We got one new category this week.
Mhm.
All right.
So let's jump into it. We got the story. What do you guys think, ranking the story 1 to 10? Storyline of the movie.
There definitely could have been some more attached to it. You obviously can see there's deleted scenes to make it more of a cinematic.
I think there
fit.
was, yep.
But the story, probably I'd give it like a good 59, maybe right up there in the 60s.
Just a 1 through 10. 1 through 10.
Oh, you
Yeah.
just said 69 is a perfect story, dude.
Well, no. We got
You got a
seven
whole
seven
rankings.
categories.
Let's just give it a 9.
We got 7 categories.
It was a 9 because it was interesting how they were able to incorporate the multiverse into a cinematic
Alright, so-
movie.
9.
And they did pretty good at it, I think.
Well, all right. So 9 from Tanner. How about you? What do you give it?
I liked it. I give it a 9.5.
So almost
Loved it.
perfect.
What do you got here? What do you
I-
think of the story?
I will give it a 9. They could have tightened it up just a little bit. All right, there was I feel like there was some opportunity there, but overall, it was
Loved it.
one of the damn best movies of the last few years, honestly.
Okay.
So I will give it a 9. It wasn't perfect, but it was damn close, right?
Okay.
Yep.
I'm honestly going a 7 on the story. I wish they would have done a lot more things in this. It's very interesting that they brought the 3 Spider-Mans back, but I didn't love the storyline of, they have all the bad guys in one building waiting for something to pop off. Doesn't sound smart. They got, Doc Ock is a good guy, but the Goblin is bad. I didn't like a couple things about the story. Just didn't love it, but I love the movie. So I'll give it a high score of a 7.
See, Doc Ock was playing a good guy, but was really a bad guy.
Mm-hmm.
He's always like that, though, in every single series. Anytime Spider-Man gets introduced or Peter Parker introduced to Doc Ock, it's either fight or flight, or he's going to play like he's his friend.
Well, because Doc Ock is a good guy, but
At
the
heart,
exosuit
right? Exactly.
is what fucks him up. So, yeah, absolutely.
Well,
All right, Math guy.
they did end the movie with Doc Ock being a good guy because they fixed his suit.
Yeah, but he's always shifting. That's what we're saying.
Yeah.
But,
He's
yeah.
never going to be a good guy 100%.
Permanently, yeah,
Something's
right.
going to happen to where he's going to want something more.
But in this movie, he did end the movie as a good guy, which that was like kind of unexpected.
Mhm.
Yeah. So what are you going to give that the final score of there, Chad?
Now, let's say an 8. 8 out of 10.
We'll say an 8. Okay.
It's a pretty damn good score. Okay, next section we got the effects of the movie. CGI, practical effects. What do you score the effects of the movie?
They did great, I think, because they incorporated the effects from Doctor Strange movies into it. So it kind of was like, oh, you didn't need 3D goggles or glasses on to watch the movie. It was like, that's why I thought they killed it. I mean, to the storyline of things, yes, but like with how they put it together was almost spot on to a comic book. Almost. So I would have to probably give that one another 9 because it wasn't just right there as like you would be expecting as a comic book would be, because they did incorporate the 3 Spider-Mans from the comic books, and they almost had that scene down where they're all pointing at each other.
That was amazing, wasn't it?
Yeah,
great.
so
The meme.
that's what I mean.
Loved
Like,
it.
but that's literally in the drawings of a comic book. So
Mhm.
it's like by having seen that scene, that's where I feel like it finally made the connection to all of us kind of people that have read those comics and who grew up with those comics, because I think that's what gave us the connection to the movie, was seeing those particular scenes had like, oh, these guys were reading from
And
the comic
bringing it
book.
to cinematic life.
Exactly. So
That
you're like,
has
thank
meaning
you.
to us.
We've been waiting for someone to finally do this
Mhm.
right and explain the story of how we read it instead of how you guys interpret it
Right.
into a film.
Do
Yeah.
something for the non-casual that's just
Do
watching
something.
the movie.
Yeah, to the fans, the reason
the
why
fans.
this thing is so big.
Yep.
100%.
Yep. Okay, so effects, 10 out of 10 for you.
Yeah, I would give it a 10.
Yep.
I've seen a lot of. I shouldn't say seen a lot of, but I have seen some shows that have like really, really bad CGI, and a lot of them look good. This one did very well. I thought it was really good. I'll probably give it another 10 as well.
Okay. What do you think?
Well, I didn't think they went overboard on the CGI, which
They
is
didn't.
nice. And you
Yes.
see a lot of that.
You do, dude. That's a
Right.
huge thing with Marvel right now, is going overboard on the
'Cause all the
CGI.
actors are getting old.
I was
Good point.
super excited to see all 3 Spider-Mans because I loved the first 3. Of course,
The first 3, Tobey Maguire.
the Tobey Maguire is my Spider-Man.
That's
right?
what we grew up with.
Because you want to know why? Because no other Spider-Man is going to have Macho Man Randy Savage in his movie. Okay,
I got you for 3 minutes.
So Tobey Maguire takes it all. I'm sorry, other guys, but you'll never have Macho Man. All
I
right.
was,
Can't
at, I
concur.
was at for Halloween at one of our shows that we played, and I had Macho Man
Oh, badass.
and in a wrestling outfit, but it was like a midget, and he was holding me up, and I was Spider-Man Peter Parker one from that movie, but
Hell
on
yeah.
top with holding my guitar, and that was my Halloween costume.
Very nice.
Oh yeah.
Effects.
So
Where you at?
I'm going to give it an 8 because I didn't see any practical effects, quite honestly. costumes were all right.
Well, you saw some, like when Spider-Man's bloodied up and getting ready to kill the Goblin. He's all like ready to stab him and stops him.
But you do know Tom Holland does all of his own stunts.
Does he? Yeah.
He's
Tom
all-
Holland's a badass. He's a really good
He
Spider-Man.
does. He well, yeah, because he's literally a gymnastics.
Yeah, that's why he got to
Person.
play that other video game character, not Max Payne. What was the other one? That Drake
Drake
played Drake, right?
Yes.
But
Got
honestly,
that role.
I loved all three Spider-Mans. They all three, in their own way, had
Have their part.
their personalities interjected in Spider-Man, and they were all good.
Drama wise, Tobey Maguire, definitely. Yeah, Andrew Garfield though, he was
But,
good. Smart.
Effects.
I'll give it an 8.
Okay, well, I guess I'll go with an 8 as well. Decent effects. They didn't go too overboard, so I guess the overall score is probably a 9.
A 9.
So they both said 10. We both said 8. We'll call it a 9. The rewatchability of this movie. Can you pop it in and rewatch it 10 years down the road?
Yes.
Yeah, I would give it a 10.
10 out of 10, they say. All right,
Yeah.
I'll go with the crowd for once. We'll do a 10 out of 10 because it was not the worst Spider-Man movie. Therefore, you could watch it again.
I have a question. What would make it the worst Spider-Man movie out of all the Spider-Man movies ever to be made?
Just bad directing, bad
makes-
storyline, not being true to, not just pandering. Well, here's what ruins most movies, in my opinion, is when the directors take too much liberty with the story and they want to put too much
Warp
of their
it.
Yes.
spin and warp it.
They
Right?
warp it to
100%.
their vision
Yeah,
instead
that's
of
my
the
belief.
fan vision.
Yes, that's my belief.
So
And-
that would make it the
And
worst.
so Hollywood, if you do less of that, actually, we want to see the movies that they're the movies made like the stories were supposed to be, like
So-
they're written.
With Spider-Man,
Yeah.
what makes that the worst out of all the Spider-Mans? What's the worst one?
Oh, I don't have a worst one.
Worst one for me probably would have been the one where he's fighting Jake Gyllenhaal as Mysterio.
That one? No, Far From Home.
Did not love that one.
Yeah.
I think Mysterio could have been cooler.
No, there's a lot.
But there
that
was a lot of good
Yeah.
twists in that one.
Mysterio. There was a lot of cool shit in that one, but Mysterio, I thought he was more of a badass.
See, that shows you there was cool shit in that movie, right?
Yeah.
That was not a horrible movie, but that's the worst.
They
of
just
the
try to
Spider-Man.
make him too real of a person. That's why.
Well, I don't think they cast the right actor for that.
Definitely not.
I'm not saying he
Jake-
was a bad actor, but he wasn't the right actor.
No, he
for
was too
Mysterio.
happy to be Mysterio.
Exactly, right? Had to be a little
But the
bit
third
mysterious. Yeah.
With Tobey Maguire, though, that one gets it for me. That one they ruined Spider-Man. For me.
Was that the Venom one?
The Venom one?
Mm.
There
Yeah,
there
having
was
Eddie
a lot
Brock.
of problems.
What's the guy from that '70s show?
Yep.
Horrible.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it was
another
not a good
perfect
cast.
example of not a
Exactly.
great
That's what I
one.
mean. So those were my two. Was the one with Mysterio and that one.
Yeah, well, we're actually going to get into that right now because rewatchability is a 10 out of 10. We're into actors. How was
Ooh.
the cast? 1 through 10, the actors,
The entirety. of
all
the
encompassing, right? All the actors
For
throughout
No
the
Way
entire
Home,
movie.
right?
For No Way Home, yes, sir. Yep.
Because we can go all day with Spider-Man.
Right, that's besides the point.
For No Way Home, the actors, I liked how they brought back the actors. So the actors, I think, were spot on for what they chose. They could have chose a little bit I don't know, because they always try to hint you who the Hobgoblin is, but we all know it's his friend.
Mhm.
And they played it out perfectly to erase his memory for him to not know who Peter Parker is anymore, and he's a magician anyways because he learned his shit from Doctor Strange, and that's who the Hobgoblin is. So
Mhm.
they may have chose a good actor for that.
We'll see.
But for No Way Home, it's kind of hard to say for the actors because they brought all.
It's hard not to put it as a 10 of 10.
Exactly, because they put up
Because of what they
all-
did.
Yeah.
They made the meme.
Yeah,
It's really hard not to give this one a 10 of 10.
exactly, because
Yeah.
they put all actors from Endgame
Mhm.
blend into it. Actors from all the Spider-Mans blend into
I'm going to
it.
give it a 10 out of 10. I
I'm
don't think
giving
there
it a
was
10.
And it's okay.
There was
That's
a
okay.
bad- in my opinion, there was not a bad actor in this movie. They were all
that fit the part,
spot on.
right?
Okay, it sounds like we're in a concurrence 10 of 10
You
on
you concur?
actors.
Yeah. All right.
Because I don't think any other person can ever play Green Goblin
Hmm.
other than William Dafoe.
Yep.
Oh, yeah, he's such a good actor.
Dude, that guy's an amazing actor.
Great in Boondock Saints.
Oh, don't even start with Boondock.
Okay, we won't. Let's
love
get into
Boondock Saints.
Let's get into the music of it.
Yes.
1 through 10. How would you rank the music, the soundtrack
The soundtrack,
of this movie?
which I actually have on vinyl here.
Yeah, he does. Pull that out, whip it out, and show them.
And so I would just, I've always liked the Spider-Man song, Spider-Man,
Oh,
Spider-Man,
yeah.
right? So
Let's be real. You always like Spider-Man.
No, how they incorporate that song.
their
though.
orchestral
Yes.
pieces of that are amazing,
Yes,
right?
Yes, it was.
Yeah, and so they really went all out, I feel, on the,
I think they grasped our generation and youth with that song and that particular scene I was talking about earlier.
Yeah.
And that's probably what sold it for a lot of us elderly people. And watching this movie was like, oh God, finally. I remember because the older you get, whenever you have something that reminds you of you being young, you're going to remember it forever, right? It's just weird concept. The older you get, that's just how it works. Anything to bring you back to your childhood,
It's a memory that hits you and brings you back.
and it just hits you hard for some reason.
So what would you give it?
10.
10? 10? I give it a 10. How about you, Chad?
I'll go with the crowd, I guess. 10 out of 10. I'll always say something could have been better, but don't listen to me. Okay, next.
Always room for improvement.
Always room for improvement. We're into the quotes of the movie. 1 through 10. How quotable is this movie? Can you think of a scene that you would quote with your buddies? Whoops, that broke.
Well,
Like, are we talking a quote that's like an inspirational
It's not-
quote?
No.
Or
Like a
just-
quote you could remember, like think of the movie Superbad. He's all, fuck you, McLovin.
Oh, yeah.
Right? A quote from
it's
the
not
movie.
a quotable movie.
That's what I'm saying. That's his
Okay.
weakest point in this movie.
Definitely not.
Okay, 1 through 10. Let's
it's a-
rank it here.
It's a comic, like what? I mean, I guess there's some quotable stuff. 'cause
How about
you're
this?
reading it.
This is technically a quote where you're all pointing in a triangle.
Exactly.
Okay.
And
that
and
was
some
not
of
a
the
quote. Like,
I'll decide, thank you.
that was not a quote.
okay, so friendly neighborhood Spider-Man.
Hmm.
That's from the comics.
There you
There's
go. Okay.
He
says that.
He says that.
ritually
Yeah.
in there.
I'm going to give it a 3 out of 10.
Yeah.
I'm going first. 3 out of 10
I'm
is
going
mine
4,
on the
yeah.
quotes.
Yeah,
You're
because
going
it's not a
4?
quotable movie.
I think I'll go like a 5 or a 6, only because there was one. I'm pretty sure it's in this movie. It's where they're like in this lab in like the school or whatever, and then what's the name?
Ned. His buddy?
Ned. Yeah.
Ned.
He's like, "Hey, Peter," and everyone's like, all three of them are like, "Yeah," and he's like, "Peter Parker." They're like,
yeah.
"That's all of us. Like, we're all the same person, pretty much."
Oh, yeah, when they're in the lab.
Yeah, that I thought that
Peter,
part was
and
pretty
they all
funny.
just like, yes. And
Yeah,
hard.
So you're going to give it a 5?
and I'll probably give it like a 5.
All right. I'll rank it as a 4.
Yeah, that's what I was at.
Okay, let's go 4 then.
4 it is.
4 it is. Okay, that brings us to our last and new topic. Was this movie sexy?
Yeah.
No.
1 through
Were
9.
the actors sexy? Were they
Was
hot?
was the whole thing sexy?
Well,
Aunt May.
I was
she
about to say,
sexy?
the actor they have for Aunt May, I have, yeah.
Okay, well then.
Yes, just yeah.
But when she died, that was not sexy.
Mhm. Okay.
Oh, that was actually really depressing. Even though she pulled off the
Talking to Peter while she's
the
passing.
quote, the famous quote,
Yes.
great power comes great responsibility, and that was kind of the multiverse thing that they were doing.
I was about to say, was that the multiverse thing? Because
Yeah.
it's usually Uncle Ben, but they finally incorporated it.
Swapped it.
into
Because they
somewhere
never
else.
would. That's the reason why I respected Tom Holland as the Spider-Man and the producers and everything, is because they literally threw away this backstory that we all already know, and they kind of put him in as Spider-Man as the teenage, smartass. Now No Way Home, they brought back, like you're just saying, the multiverse thing. Like, oh, Aunt May's Uncle Ben, but Aunt May's Aunt May. Wait, I'm confused.
I found out one of the more fascinating things about this movie is how they made that twist, and I thought that was pretty cool. I guess for that I should have gave it a 1 rank higher on the quotability.
Too late?
Yeah,
Yeah.
but
Quotes in.
that is one of the famous
Quotes
Spider-Man
in.
quotes, right?
Back to sexy.
Was it sexy?
Back
Mm-mm.
to sexy. 1 through 9.
Come on, man. Jamie Foxx is fucking hot, man. He's in there pimping.
I'll pass,
All right.
but Aunt May. Marissa Tomei. I'm going to give it a 6 out of 9.
Oh, we're right there with you on the 6.
Give it a 7.
I'll give it a 6.
6 out of 9 it is. All right, who's going to count that up?
So that's we're at a 57 out of 60, which isn't bad.
No, we're going to 69.
Oh yeah, out of 69. 57 out of 69.
Your math is off.
Oh, I'm sorry. All right.
That's right. It's the drinks. It's a blue dream here.
Yeah, it is.
Blue Caraco or whatever they're called.
So yeah, 69 being the perfect score.
Mm.
All right.
Okay,
So
that's
that-
our movies.
Not bad for a 57 out of 69. Great, good movie. It was in the middle of the COVID.
It was a decent Marvel movie,
Yeah,
if
but
nothing
it
else.
was in-
When they put out some crap,
2021 when everything was like shit.
Mhm.
Right. This is one of the shiny lights
a
of
dry streak.
of that time, which is quite a thing to live through.
I think that's when Eternals came out.
Mhm.
Or not Eternal. Was it Eternal?
Eternals
Yeah,
didn't do so good. to
No,
me,
it did
though.
not. Could've
I
been
didn't
better.
really like it.
Well, they had Bucky Barnes in there.
Yeah.
Also, since I have a bunch of cassette tapes, we decided to bust out a cassette tape for every episode. What do you guys think of Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure? All right, what did this mean? What did this mean to you?
Oh yeah, Bill and Ted. My brother would always watch that, and I watched it, and I was always confused because I thought they were idiots, but then I became them.
Well, they are.
Exactly. So I
It
became
is
one.
Such an amazing piece of work for the time it came out, and it spawned like a whole genre, and and lives in people my age hearts forever.
Oh, yeah.
Rent free, right?
Oh, yeah.
And
Even the third one.
God, the amount of quotes that you could quote out of this movie alone
Party
is-
on, dude.
is
Party on,
outstanding, right? Had George Carlin in it, which is one of the best comedians on earth, right? If ever. Like George Carlin is like my comedy hero. But yeah, Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. Pulled that down off the shelf just to chat about it for a quick second.
Yep, great movie.
Mhm.
That is a great movie.
All right,
Another
well,
one I got to add to the list.
That is. Dude,
Yep.
I got a big old list, imaginary list in my brain.
hey, write it down.
I should.
Write it down. That way you can start checking them off, dude. It's
Yep.
important. This is parts of history.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, let's get out of movies. Let's have you jump into books, my dude.
All right. You guys into any books you read? It could be anything. It doesn't have to be just like novels, right? It could be magazines or
Comic books,
comic
manga.
books. What
Yep.
are you
Big
into?
into a little bit into the manga. I wanted to a while ago. I wanted to start instead of collecting all of the manga in one series. I wanted to collect only the first editions of a bunch of different ones.
Mhm.
At least of ones that I think would like, but I haven't really started that.
To get you sparked down the road so
Yeah.
you love it.
Yeah, pretty much.
Not a bad idea.
I started collecting the Hellsing, the big books,
Hmm.
the hardback. It looks like a Bible with an upside down cross on it. It's fucking wild.
Great series.
Yep. I started. I just need the third one. I need to buy that one and read through it.
Hmm.
And then Berserk. Actually, they also have their deluxe editions. They're just reprinting all of them, 3 per volume, and they're pretty big books too. I think now there's like maybe 16 of them. Those I'm really big into because just like with like comics to movies, like people always gravitate. Oh, like the comics were better than the movies and stuff like that. Same thing with
Walking Dead style.
Yeah, same thing with like manga and stuff. There's always stuff in the manga that people leave out that people appreciate more than the anime or the show or the movie. And
Oh,
stuff
same.
like that.
Yeah, exactly the same with movies. You know,
Mhm.
it's gone from a book to a movie or a book to a TV show. Not everything translates correctly.
All right.
Yeah, that's the way it goes.
But as far as like books and stuff like that, that's probably about as far as I go.
All right. How about you, Tanner? Are you into anything?
Not really.
No. Is there anything that you used to read? Anything that you enjoyed in the past?
I've always hated reading.
Yeah.
No comic books, even.
Comic books has been the only thing, like Spider-Man, and Iron Man, and anything I could steal. from
Spawn?
my brother. I was
Spawn
I was
comics.
just about to bring
What
up
about
Spawn.
old Batman comics where he's fighting Bane?
Mhm.
Come on now,
Yeah.
that's reading.
Bane. Well, I do. I guess I do have the Joker comic book, the Joker, and so I mean, reading was my downfall. I didn't really.
Oh, it's okay. I
Reading.
can't do math. If I don't have a calculator, I'm freaking worthless. Bro.
Oh, math was my
Yeah.
thing. You know,
Yeah.
I was more of a hands-on guy. I was either reading guitar books or outside.
Well, see, there you go. You can't just say you're not a reader because you actually are. You like comic books and you like the music part,
Yeah,
right?
that's
Not
about
everybody
it.
reads Shakespeare. Like, I can't stand reading these old plays and the way they talked and the way they went about it. It's just not my
And
thing,
I
right?
love
Give you a
Shakespeare.
quote.
Yeah, and this
But
guy
to-
loves it.
Yeah, but to give you a quote from a book or a comic book, not gonna happen.
No need.
You know
No
what I mean?
need.
I'm
Just
like,
talking about the interest of it.
Love it.
How about you, Chad? You in any books? What do you got going on?
Yes, I started rereading the Ancient Civilizations book.
Mhm.
It's great. It goes through like old
That'd be cool.
old civilizations, what they used to be, what they used to believe in, what we found of theirs, what we've kind of speculated as to what happened there, because nobody fucking knows, dude. Right? There were no cameras.
Nope.
That's new.
Yeah.
That's new tech,
Yeah.
catching everything on camera.
Right.
We just don't know. We can speculate all we want, but we don't know if the mummy cats were a fucking thing or not,
That's true.
right?
And we don't know how long ago it is. We just speculate how long.
We
ago
speculate. Yep. So love books like that, like the Ancient Civilizations books.
What does it bring up, like Tartarian and all that?
Tartaria is actually not in there because that's like more suppressed, right? It's like
Mhm.
stuff like Uruk, right?
Okay.
Syria. I'm assuming going back like probably like 4,000 or 5,000 years at most,
Okay.
and they don't really want to delve past that because then we're getting into touchy subjects,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, we're getting into shit that they don't really know, so they're like, they deem it
Speculate.
whatever. Yep.
Yep, exactly. So that's really as far as the go back goes, but stuff like ancient pyramids in Egypt, the Sphinx, stuff like that's what it's trying to touch on. But we're always learning new stuff about it. There's always new info
Right.
coming out.
History is constantly changing.
Rewriting
based,
itself.
based on the
So
information.
do you think the pyramids are an energy?
Oh yeah, because of what they are, because they're
Power.
limestone.
Basically, it's a power grid.
Yeah, limestone plus saltwater electrical charge.
I
Plus
believe-
all the
Pretty
vents
obvious.
that they have inside
Yeah,
of there to
right.
fill it up with a certain liquid that makes energy and makes
Energy beam. Yep.
I believe
with
ancient man was
magnesium.
not as dumb as.
Oh, they weren't
as-
fucking dumb.
as
Dude.
some of
Why
us
did they have a gold tip?
think
Mhm.
about? And they had technology that's lost in history. All right, that we
Maybe
don't-
not lost, suppressed. Maybe.
No, it's lost. We don't
Doubt
know.
it.
We don't know how
I
they
don't
did
think
it.
it's lost. I think it's been found. It's been suppressed
Yeah.
because of how everyone.
lost.
You can't control people who know too much.
Mm.
So
That's
that's why
true.
you suppress the knowledge and only educate people on what you want.
I think it's probably more suppressed rather than lost or unknown,
Yeah.
right? Just
Oh.
because we've dug up so much shit.
I mean, we've lost a lot of history. Like, say,
I'm not saying we haven't.
the,
We're talking about the pyramids, though.
Yeah. Pyramids.
I'm not saying we fucking haven't.
Yeah.
We're on one specific topic right here, and that's the pyramids. Do I think it's suppressed or lost? I think it's
Well,
suppressed.
when the Library of Alexandria they
Burnt,
we
yeah.
lost
I
a
was
lot of the
See,
history
and that's different.
about Egypt and all the world.
Yeah.
Quite honestly, at that time, that was a major event in history. That's very sad.
But again, you have hieroglyphics of people who actually can read it, and you go and give some American archaeologist, person, they're like, "No, this is what it says," and someone there is like, "No, this is literally what it's saying." And there you go.
and we know the
So-
Vatican has a lot of the stuff that they don't share at all.
And the reason why, if you know that particular fact right there, and what he was saying and what I'm saying, then of course the information's suppressed because
Right.
it's there.
Yeah, and it's a speculation.
Because all of us have some sort of hunch of being
Yep.
like, well, the Vatican did that. Well, this guy did that. Well, why are we blaming somebody if it isn't true?
Mm.
So it's been suppressed.
Yeah, they make it a
That information
speculation.
is there. They just don't want you to know about
Yep. Or they want you confused about it.
it.
Going in
And that's why-
circles.
That's why we go in circles and blame shift.
So,
Yep.
so on books, I got two things. I got a passage I'm going to read out of the Book of Five Rings by Miyamoto Masashi, which is a Japanese sword saint. Right, it's like their number one samurai that they worship. Quite honestly, he was a master tactician. He killed countless people in battles. Actually, when he was so good at the end, he would not even fight with a real sword. He would fight with like wooden sticks against people with real swords and defeat them. He was a master, and he wrote some very good philosophy. So I'm just going to read a short passage out of here.
Bring it up.
Yep.
Down.
All right.
Samurais are badass.
Speaking to the mic right there.
Here's an antidote. Once when a woodsman was trying to cut a tree in a deep forest, an animal named a satori appeared. The woodsman wanted to catch it because the animal is rare. The satori then said, "You were thinking about catching me." The woodsman was terribly surprised to hear this. The Satori then said, "You are surprised because I know what you were thinking." The woodsman was more and more astonished and thought secretly of killing it with an axe he had in his hand. The Satori then said, "You were thinking of killing me." The woodsman thought, "It has the ability to know what I'm thinking. There's nothing I can do." And when he went back to cutting the tree, the Satori said, "You were thinking that there's nothing you could do against me." This time the woodsman continued to concentrate on cutting the trunk of the tree without concerning himself with the animal. The blade of his axe then accidentally came off and planted itself in Satori's head. The Satori died without saying a word. This parable teaches us that even Satori can be struck by an axe of non-thought. In Kenjutsu, also, if you are confronting a very advanced practitioner, he will detect your actions as soon as you think of them. Therefore, it is necessary to develop the techniques that arise without thought. You must train this as well. So, basically saying that
Hey, hold on now. Whoa.
to be
See what they heard
a...
before you spell it out what you think it is.
Sure, right, yeah.
Let's hear what
What do
they
you think of
got
that
from the
passage?
story.
Oh, it's definitely so. Before you go into any situation, there's someone that's always going to be a step ahead. So don't go into that situation over analyzing it. Go into the situation with a clear head, so then no one knows your next move.
Like it.
We go.
One was a little bit more harder to decipher. I like the. I know there has to be there is some sort of meaning behind it. I like what he said about it.
Well, you're going to know now.
Uh-huh.
David will give you his perspective on why he chose this and what it means to him.
Yeah,
For sure.
I'm in a lifelong martial arts practitioner and studier of martial philosophy.
Martial philosophy is amazing.
Yes,
peaceful.
it's better
It's
to
good
be
for you.
it's better to be
It
a,
is, it's
a warrior
peaceful.
in the garden than a gardener at war.
I like that
Okay.
one. I've heard that one.
Yes.
But
Yeah.
what this is saying is if you are against an advanced opponent, they're going to detect your actions,
Your
right?
slightest movement.
If you are thinking too hard about what you're going to do, they're going to see it, right? Because they know it. So you have to develop techniques that really the action comes without thought.
Muscle memory.
Yes, muscle memory.
Like we play our instruments.
Just
we play
like your
without thinking.
instruments.
We don't need to think, where's our next transfer
Once
at?
you
Where's
play
our
that
next part at?
song,
We just know.
I
Enough
have
times?
To. What are you talking about?
Yeah. So playing guitar is a martial art, right? I do believe kung fu is literally translated into a mastery of something, right?
Anything
Yeah.
can be.
Yeah,
Anything you
anything
put
can
work
be kung fu.
that you put your mind to become peaceful
Mm-hmm.
with can be martial arts, because you have to overcome that. It's the same thing I've explained to him, because I taught him how to dog groom. It's the same exact thing. It's like throw him to the fire, because there's only one way you're going to learn. It's either you're going to sink or swim. But when it comes to like that, you go up against somebody that's bigger and better than you. You have to keep yourself open, because if you overanalyze it, you're going to always think you're calling the next shot, and you're going to go completely over the next shot and fuck yourself, basically. So if you keep yourself open, you literally have all options to choose from in that particular situation. And that's what I gathered from it, to where it's like, hey, yeah, like you said, if an enemy's coming that's twice as better than me at every single little thing, well, there's one thing he can't be better at me, is I'm very optimistic. So call your shots, because I'm going to figure out one right on the spot, because that's the only way to defeat somebody, is sometimes being spontaneous.
Absolutely.
Or training your techniques so good that you don't have to think about it. It just comes when you need it. Right?
And that's what happened with
In the
him now with
situation.
dog grooming or guitar playing, is
Yeah.
that you throw yourself into the fire so many
Performing,
times.
you know. Yeah.
You're going to always know what
we
to
want
do.
one
You
more
don't
of
have to
these,
think about it.
gentlemen? Is 3 too much?
I can do it alone. I don't
Why
care.
would we put a number on it?
I like that thought.
Yeah, let's not put a number on it, but let's finish out our books here, then we'll get a break and we'll get some new ones going.
Get some more ice. Yeah.
Yep. So, other than your Book of Five Rings, do you have anything else in the book section
Well,
here?
I got this for my birthday just the other day. Beavis and Butthead reading sucks. It is
That is me.
I've never seen this book before. I just got it for my birthday, and I started reading through, and it has like all kinds of amazing little skits and
I
stuff.
forgot to
in
mention
there.
Beavis and Butthead.
And,
Classic.
Yeah,
Yeah.
damn it.
Here's a little part where they're reading off movie ideas. A pack of renegade strippers go around taking their clothes off in churches and high school social study classes. Only one man could stop them. This city makes all the cops monkeys because they can't cost anything. And then the monkey cops start shooting everyone, even if they're not illegal. Well, that didn't even make sense. But anyways, it's a bunch of...
Did you read it wrong, or was it wrote wrong?
What's
Well,
happening right now? That
it-
makes a lot of sense.
It was probably the way I read it, quite honestly.
Okay. Let me see that Bad Betty. Where is that?
There, yeah, go ahead. Let's see if you make it sound better.
Where is this one
I
here?
think it's the
Bad
third
Betty.
one down here.
City makes all the cops monkeys because they don't cost anything. But then the monkey cops start shooting everybody, even if they're not illegal. All right, so it wasn't just your reading; it was the way they.
It was just terribly
the
written.
way they wrote.
But
it.
there's
that
a
makes sense.
lot of shit in here that's hilarious. Like I've opened the pages on this
Mhm.
book and laughed my ass off already. And so
It's a great one.
But I grew up on Beavis and Butthead. It
Yep.
was one of my favorite cartoons.
Yep. Mm.
And so of course my brother would get me this. Thank you, Jeremiah.
Thank you, Jerry.
Yeah.
If you were to get like
That guy
a
sucks.
like a Chinese Jackson, right?
Yep.
And you were to say, okay, the cheek body's fine. Now I'm going to put like a nicer, better radiused neck on it.
Right.
You throw that nicer neck on it, dude. Boom. Neck dive every fucking time. These headless ones look like they don't have near as much.
Right. I'm gonna go grab my other vape out.
Yeah, grab it.
Yeah.
Grab it. Grab it.
Yeah, wouldn't sit it down just anywhere. It's a beautiful guitar.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, when you get them from when you get them new from the website, I think all of them come with a gig bag like that, and they're all fitted to like the headless one you can see is shorter, and then the other one you can see is a longer
Mhm.
headstock one.
Hell yeah, with the Legator L.
Mm-hmm.
They are just fucking gorgeous guitars. They're heavy duty. Made in America.
Hey, before I get started, I'll go
Some of them,
briefly
the earlier ones for sure. He's been actually been collecting a lot of the older USA models, like
Mhm.
the pre. What is I want to say? It's like the pre expansion kind of, because they started out as just like a custom shop, only doing a couple orders here and there,
Just
and
like
then,
Schechter and BC Rich.
yeah, and then they branched up and started what's the word? Outsourcing.
Mhm.
Yeah, they started
Most-
doing that.
Most places do. Like Jackson is now owned by Fender Guitar.
Mm-hmm.
That's why you see them made in China, Taiwan, and Indonesia.
Yep.
Right? So, but they still have their American custom shop.
I like that BC Rich is owned by a badass motherfucker now. He's just making nothing but badass guitars.
Yeah. Customs. Yeah.
It brings joy to my heart.
It was a
see-
smart
to
choice.
see this guy fucking doing his job right.
Mhm.
You know,
Yeah, BC Rich is doing it right. They have amazing guitars.
dude,
No, they
their
do.
new fucking brands.
Yep.
Their new models are badass.
They
Hey.
got that the Shredzilla's.
Well, the
Speaking of which-
Shredzilla's and the other ones are.
I got two Shredzilla's. I fucking love them, dude.
Nice.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, dude, you should swap out the guitar mid-show.
Mid show. No, I'll just put the other one on the next show.
Week.
No, dude, they've been around forever.
Mhm.
They know what the fuck they're doing.
Been around since the 80s.
And if they put in, they've always been that modern guitar, you know. So now that they actually stepped up to the modern
Mm-hmm.
guitarist needs and specs, yeah, those things are fucking amazing. I've played only a few of them on my little escapades of going to like Salt Lake or Seattle and stopping in guitar stores and seeing the fucking BC Rich.
A way bigger one, like a Seattle
Like
mom
one
and
of those. I
pop
played
guitar
one of
store
those. Those
is
things are
bigger than
nice.
our local guitar center type deal.
Miguel, those things right there.
I got that one from a good friend.
Fucking really nice, dude.
And when I seen that model come out the first year, I wanted one instantly. I was like, I love that purple,
Whoa,
right?
whoa! I like this.
yeah,
This is cool.
Mm-hmm.
And then
7-string, green
7.
strings,
One piece.
one piece, snap through, huh?
and so I finally found one. A buddy had it, and I convinced him to sell it to me. thank you.
Yeah, that one doesn't play around, dude.
JRB7.
We've actually been talking, and we did the music for our podcast, of course, because why the fuck wouldn't we?
Right.
The next piece we want to write for the podcast is going to be from that 7.
Dude, it needs to be.
Yep.
Yeah, I like it. I like it.
This is the way.
Do you like
if you
your drink
guys,
smoke?
If you guys ever need some feature bass, we've got a guy right here.
Feature bass. That's not a bad idea.
Because guitar players, there's too many of them, right?
Well, I've just
Well, I don't know.
been playing bass on our tracks here lately, which is fine, but it's nothing better than a good bassist that really knows how to really work with the bass, like
we were talking about
slap
with music.
players.
Bass driven.
I'm getting better with my fingers, but like when it comes to the really fast songs, then I have to pick up the guitar pick, right? And I just like the sound of the bass players that actually play with their fingers.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
But it's tough. Like, depends on what you're playing, quite honestly, because some riffs require a fast staccato picking, right?
Some people can do it with 4 fingers. Miguel, do you play with fingers or pick?
I swap back and forth.
Nice.
It kind of depends. It's been hard for me to try to get dialed in on one. I think doing the whole back and forth thing has kind of
You got it down.
has kind of been able to allow me to keep them both kind of like this, instead of like, just play with a pick and do this. And then when I play with my fingers, I start all the way back down here and work that up. I think going back and forth has just kind of done this a little bit for me.
Leveled them both up.
Yeah, exactly. It's just more. I do it in practice a lot. I don't know if maybe they notice it, but I always try to. I always think it's like, okay, if I'm gonna be, I think most of it comes from like, okay, if I'm gonna play with a pick, and I play live, oh no, I dropped my pick. I can just be okay doing this,
Transfer to it.
Yeah.
Exactly. So that's
Improvise.
yeah, that's really more. I think maybe that's where that's more rooted in my fear of dropping a pick live, pretty much. But
Nothing wrong with being prepared.
right, nothing wrong with being prepared. But also, if I'm not prepared, oh no, I don't have a pick for this show. I'll just use my fingers. Whatever.
I have noticed that playing bass without fingers is a lot like playing classical guitar. It's a lot of the same techniques, and I've been doing a lot of study on the classical guitar for the last few years, and so like I've always wanted to learn the slap pop techniques, and I still can't get it, but I got videos and they're showing exactly how it sounds. Like, that's kind of like how you do this on, but I don't know, like I just can't. I haven't got it yet.
The timing of getting that pick, because your hand wanted to do this as a guitar player. You're always your wrists. The main focus point of getting that rhythm down, right? It's however you can bounce your wrist. The slap bass, it's instead of bouncing the wrist, you have to bounce the palm. And when you do that, it's getting that exactly what you're talking about, that time of with your pinky to pull it up and hit the thumb at the same time to mute the top string. Or if you're not muting, you're. I used to be a bass player. So, as I was telling him,
Les Claypool is full of examples of this kind of playing.
If you just watch them, their hands spread like this. It's not like closed, or it's just like this because you're muting with your palm and you're bouncing with the palm and your pinky. But the pinky's clipped, it's like it's hooked like this, so you can bam, 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 bam. When this comes down, the pinky goes down.
And it's sort of like a rhythmic thing with your right hand. There's a lot of right hand.
But to go
mastery
into like
that goes with
guitar,
Of course.
you're literally like
Right.
with
You got
just
your pick hand.
right.
See? You got your pick hand.
Yep. But now do that like this, and then just sit there and try to do a rhythm with your hand open. That's the difference.
So as a guitarist, I could play some bass riffs, but can I make it sound like a really good bass player? No. And that's one day we hope to find a Miguel for our band,
there you go.
right? and even a drum player, like hopefully, because Mr. MPC is filling in right now. Yeah.
We actually had a meme back in the day, didn't we?
Which one?
Oh, not even just a meme. Just we were gonna do in our music video. an idea is going to have him on the guitar and me on the guitar and have 3 guitar players.
Hell yeah.
And then when it goes to the bass player, it's just the MacBook.
Who did that?
Someone did it.
I
And
think-
we were like,
I think a
"Damn it."
Legion.
Yeah.
I think a Legion did
Someone
something like
did
that.
and we're
Yeah.
like, dang
It was a
it.
Legion, and then it was a member from Enox. It was in his
Yeah,
other band.
That's right.
They put out a music video. They don't have a bass player, and it was like going back to like the music video thing. You take a shots of everyone jamming out as a band and individually, and then when you get to the bass player, it's just a MacBook on a stand,
Hell yeah.
and it's just that. And that's it. And
That's
it's
what
just,
I want
it's
to
just
do.
part of the
I still
part of
want to
the
do
joke.
that, though.
That'd be great. See, and that's something that's like a practical effect
Yeah.
that you guys
Yeah.
can do easy.
Exactly.
That's free to you that you can incorporate in your music video
Exactly.
to make it one step fucking cooler.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Right?
Those are the things that we're talking about.
Mhm.
Like,
These are
And
the
then
things you
they
got to
show-
bank.
I don't know. Have you seen? Do you know the band Ghost Iris?
Mhm.
Yes. So if you watch one of their music videos, it's just a guy in a wagon going through Venice, playing guitar inside of like a little kid wagon, and that's kind of what we're talking about with our next music videos, having something like that.
Keep it
Yeah.
simple.
Yeah, where me and Ryan are on our longboarding.
That would be fun. That would be fun to film.
Yeah, right. Just
Do you ever want to help?
that's why I said I
As I
needed
said,
a
I'm
remote
getting into
control car.
videography. If you guys want to help filming a video, I'd be more than willing to come over and help you guys. So, like, just a collaboration, right?
And by
Well,
he
you have an
means we.
iPhone. We have an
Yeah.
If both you guys want to be down, we need more iPhones because
Exactly.
I have
right?
figured out because me, the guitar player, and the drummer and the vocalist all have an iPhone. So there's
And we
4
both know how to
iPhones.
skateboard. Chad's better than me,
Yeah,
but
so-
I got
Allegedly.
boards.
and that's why
And
I
so
said
we
I
can
needed an
film stuff
RC
like that.
car to mount a camera to put the RC car in
It's
front,
not a bad
and then
idea.
have someone on a longboard in front. So then you can get 2 different angles of the shot. One that's kind of shaky, one that's in
A
front.
little bit more smooth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's what I was thinking with this whole idea. And then as we roll by, it would be Ryan on the drums sitting in some random spot along the greenbelt. And then it'd go to a shot of him on the drums. And then it would bring him back to me. And I would roll by him playing some random inside of a tree or
I like
something.
this vision. I do. I like it. Yeah,
and
I see
then,
it.
then it would go to him. And then it'd come back to me.
Yep,
and I'm
rolling
playing
around.
the guitar,
Do-do-do-do-do.
though, while longboarding, right? And then it goes to the vocalist. And then it'd go to a shot of him. And then come back to me.
Or it comes to the part where you jump off your skateboard and you grab the guitar and start rocking out like
Yeah.
at a good
Well,
part or something.
That was the next thing is I would come off and then it'd be all of us.
Yeah.
Somewhere random along the green belt. And then
Where Joe's Crab Shack used to be.
Yep. And then reverse roll, it would be Ryan coming back the way I came. So then it would go to
Rewind.
Yeah, exactly. Yep. There you go. And that's exactly what it'd do. But instead of Ryan's shot, it'd be me, not on a longboard, and it just rewind. It's the whole video would seem like it's rewinding, but it's not.
Oh, it's rewinding to them.
Exactly, but
Yep.
to us it is rewinding. You're like, wait, whoa, that guy wasn't in the scene before. What? And then the music video's over.
Good
Yeah,
concept.
It seems like a doable project.
Oh, it's doable.
Yeah.
Don't you think that's a great, cool
Yeah,
idea?
I like
Hey, Miguel's down.
Yeah. Where we do
Put me-
we do a
put-
fast forward and rewind inside
me
of
in a tree.
music video.
You want to be the tree?
Just put me in a tree
Okay.
Put-
With the bass?
with the bass.
With
yeah.
the bass.
With the bass. Or if we're doing it in the river, just let me be in the river without my shorts on.
I'm down, dude. I know a few spots where you could just stand knee high in the river with your bass.
Hey, that brings us up to our next subject, which is sports. June 20th, the Boise River opens. Finally. But that's a couple
Yeah.
weeks early. Normally it's like July 4th. Normally we do 4th of July open,
Right.
but June 20th this year. Allegedly.
Ooh.
Well, that's what they posted. And
That's what they posted.
I'm excited because I'm ready to go float the river. It's
Mhm.
it's been getting nice and warm.
Does Vape have a video game on it?
No, not yet.
Yes, you can play Mario.
No, I have one that you can.
Yes. Mario 3D.
I have one you can play
It's
Pac-Man and
Galaga.
Galaga. There you go.
Galaga, nice choice.
No
Nice
shit,
choice.
huh?
Yeah, I kept it just so I could play Galaga. It's dead, but I can still play Galaga.
That's
It's
awesome.
under your bed.
yeah.
When you're about to go to bed, you just play.
Okay. We also have a Front Street Fights coming up, July 11th, number 32.
Yep. You guys like MMA?
Kind of. July 13th our show, so that's my next only focus that I have.
Yeah.
But MMA is pretty fun. My wife likes it.
Yeah. I used to be big into UFC a little bit when I lived back in my hometown. A bunch of coworkers, whenever there'd be a fight over the weekend, be like, "Hey, come over after work, bust a fight, have some drinks, whatever, just hang out, cook some food." So I used to be pretty big into that, but since I've moved, I've kind of haven't really kept up with MMA or UFC or any capacity like that.
It's a fun endeavor. When you go over to your buddy's house, you're eating some wings, drinking some beers, watching the fights. It's an event.
It is.
It's a whole thing. It's a great time.
It's like you guys are there in Las Vegas
at the Sphere.
You start yelling at the screen like they're hearing you.
Exactly. Coaching them.
What's that other one? The Grand, not the Grand. What was the one before the Sphere? Oh, the MGM.
MGM.
Yep.
I stayed at Luxor a couple of years back, and that was super fun.
Luxor's
Nice.
fun.
Yeah.
Love the pyramid.
Right?
Yep. I also like the
pyramid's
one next
fun.
door with the old time games.
Oh, yeah.
Excalibur.
Excalibur.
Yep, Excalibur's
Yeah.
great.
No, it is awesome.
What do you got in sports, dude? I know we got some baseball coming up, but I'm just not a big baseball fan. It's a little slow for me.
Mm-hmm.
Well, as far as sports go, I just want to go float the river. But I don't know. I've been looking for some whitewater rafting. My brother's never been whitewater rafting. I don't know if he's ready for that experience.
For the thrill of death,
dude,
on your doorstep.
it is so awesome.
What
And
are you talking about?
and we
dude?
live in
It's
Idaho.
totally safe.
Right?
We live in Idaho, and like people come from all over the world to come whitewater rafting here. And there's like,
Have you been like?
Oh, I've been on a lot of rapids and some of the big ones,
Dude, so actually, funny story. When I was growing up, back when I was about 14 to about 16 years old, my mom's boyfriend at the time had his own cat, which could fit about 6 people on it. But he taught me how. He signed me up at the Banks rafting guide thing.
Yeah.
And I became a little guide. Went
Awesome.
down to the Payette River right there.
Banks is dope.
Yeah, from Banks over.
Was that a
And-
pretty good experience?
You know
Yeah, because because he taught me so well, I was able to actually help and be a person there guiding a raft with a full family. I'm like, whoa, and I'm only 16 years old. Oh shit! But he had to be on board with me.
With their lives.
The stepdad Mike, he was certified and everything. He was on board with me, but I was still the person there being able to do it. And I'm like, whoa, this is cool. So it's funny you say that because whitewater rafting is like one of my favorite things ever to do. And when you said Beyond Death, I boogie board down Timeshare. You know what Timeshare is?
Is that the
In Riggins.
no?
So it's right where time zone happens, where you're.
Is that the
timed-
Snake
bridge.
River?
Yeah.
Or not
It's
the
at-
Snake-
it's at the
Not the
bridge.
Snake River. It's the Salmon River, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Salmon River, but it's the bridge what he's talking about, the white
He
bridge.
does know. I took him there not too well. I guess it was a couple years. We went up to my dad's house
No,
in
I did
Spirit
that.
Lake.
I did that stretch once. That was way long time ago. But
It's
yeah.
a 3-day stretch.
Oh, a 3-day stretch? No, it was a 1-day thing that I went on.
Oh yeah, we did the 3-day stretch.
But man, I think those are some of the biggest rapids I've ever. They were gigantor. It's like when you're coming up on them, you're just like, oh my
I
god.
went in with a boogie board.
The parking spots are sweet, dude.
You know what a boogie board is, right?
Oh yeah, yeah. I
The
grew up in
things with
California.
handles, and it just they have a river board is what they are. So they have little handles, a little strap around your wrist, and a platform only about like this big, with a shell that's pointy like this, and you just. And I went down those rapids in that
Hell yeah.
underneath that white bridge, and I almost died. Literally, almost died, and it was crazy.
Hmm.
I don't know why my mom let me do that, but
Well, we live in an
my
Idaho.
brothers were doing it too. So.
People jump off bridges and skydive here, right? Like we get crazy here. We have
Yeah.
all the extreme sports, right? We got rock climbing, we got skydiving, all right? We got whitewater rafting,
jumping.
yeah,
cliff jumping.
Oh,
yeah.
we got it all here, right?
Idaho's built different.
Yeah,
We are.
these guys like their extreme sports.
Yeah, I tell that to my wife and her kids, and they're just like, "No, you're crazy." I'm like, "Am I?"
Hmm.
No,
Or was that growing up in Idaho?
exactly.
Yeah, right.
Am I crazy? Or did I just grow
Pretty
up?
much.
Yeah, did I just grow up
Same.
here?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all I got on sports, man.
Let's move on from sports then.
I love baseball, by the way.
Well, we got the Meridian Speedway here in Meridian.
Well, hold on. Tanner just says he loves baseball.
I do.
Oh, okay.
He said he fucking loves
All right.
baseball. So let's
Actually,
rewind.
hang on 1 second. I need to refill this man's drink, and then I'll be right back, and we'll get on that baseball. Okay.
Okay,
Yeah.
Thank you.
baseball allegedly.
Oh yeah.
Baseball is happening right now. That's why I brought it up.
I'm a big time baseball guy.
I used to love it. I still don't hate it, but I can't watch it on TV.
Yeah.
God, it's fucking boring. But if I go to a Boise Hawks game or a live game, fuck, dude, it's so
Yeah,
much fun.
I
You're
don't-
drinking
I don't-
beer, hugging back food.
I just keep
it's great.
updated on the reels and just try to figure it out from there.
Mhm.
But my daughter, I played baseball 18 years of my life, and I was on travel, and I was on the varsity team for high school.
Mm.
So only 1 year though. And then I
Your
gave
senior
it all
year?
up. No.
No.
It was like my freshman year, and then I just gave it all up.
Baseball was different when you got from
But I
when you're
played-
younger to high school.
I played like outside of that for like a couple more years, and then, but no,
Sorry,
you know.
fill your glass.
So I didn't
You're
go
good.
anywhere with it. I wasn't
Thank
the
you so
greatest,
much,
but I
appreciate it.
played it for so long, and that's
All
why I got my daughter into it now. So now she's on a travel softball team, and she's gotten the MVP ring from the umps in one of her tournaments. Her team is in the second place all around for the league right now in their 10U spot. So it's pretty crazy because I like my son. Nah, he didn't want anything to do with it. He loves basketball though. Baseball though, she picked it up and she's running with it, and I'm like, sweet. So that's the only kind of like connection I have to baseball again is going to her games or teaching her how to do it all, and I kind of get I haven't done this in a long time, kind of that happy vibe. But I'm an Atlanta Braves fan, so
Golden
Atlanta Braves is who you're waving the flag for, eh?
I always
Baseball and
will.
softball are big here.
Yep.
They're two huge sports here. Same thing with lacrosse that
Mm.
you wouldn't even think about, but
Yep, it is huge
Yep.
for some reason.
baseball, softball, and lacrosse
Yep.
are really big sports here. Boise has its own team.
Softball team, she actually went to their softball team, and her team was actually able to walk out with the softball team itself
Nice.
and sit in the dugout with them and go retrieve their balls and go retrieve their bats and work with them during one of their games that was on ESPN.
Nice.
So she was on TV and did all of that kind of fun stuff, caught some balls, got to get pictures with all of them, signed autographs, all of that kind of cool stuff. And so, yeah, so having a daughter that's very interested in it, kind of like, yes, finally. I still have some sort of like,
Connection.
yeah, I can still finally do my baseball theme
Right.
myself, but put it in
I wish
her.
I could get my kids interested in the stuff that I'm into, but they're not interested in anything I'm into, and so I'm just like, it sucks. Who am I going to leave my guitars to? Well, it's not going to be you.
My son's a piano player,
Uh.
so he's crazy good at the piano.
Nice.
You can sight read, can't you?
Yeah, he can read music and sight read, and he can write down what he's playing and coming up with, and write it down and then translate it to sheet music.
Very
Super
nice.
cool.
That's
I
important.
haven't even taught him any of that.
Mm.
He did it all himself.
Nice.
Excellent.
Self-motivated.
Yeah, but he has a huge little baby grand upright
Hmm.
because he got it off of when I used to run a moving company. Came to work with me one day in
Score.
Ontario, and we had to move big full baby grand into this person's house, and they wanted us to move this upright out. They're like, "Does your son want a piano?" And I'm like, "Do you want a piano?" He's like, "Yeah." And the guy gave me $100 to move his piano.
Very nice.
My son scored it.
Okay, dude, jump into motorsports.
All right. So, you guys ever go to the Speedway, Firebird, or Meridian
used to.
Speedway?
I used to go to it all the time because I grew up in Meridian,
Mm.
born and raised here from Meridian. I used to go to it all the time, and my entire other family is all gearheads. They're all about the cars.
It's pretty big around here. These people love
Mhm.
Guns
both
and
those
cars,
sports,
man.
right? Yeah.
Guns and trucks.
Guns,
Excuse us.
trucks, and
Yeah.
country music.
You know it.
Oh yeah, they do like their country music
Yeah.
here.
Yeehaw, motherfucker.
But at least they have a good metal following. Actually, the entire music scene here is
It doesn't matter
It's
what
pretty
brand
awesome.
of music.
It's
we got
diverse.
a good
It's diverse.
reggae like
Definitely
bands.
is.
It's
It is diverse.
It's pretty good. But into motorsports. So yeah, Meridian Speedway has your next event on June 20th. I believe that's Meridian Dairy Days, right?
That is the Dairy Days, correct? And
Oh,
they'll
damn.
have the carnival there. They'll have all
Dairy
the
Days.
food trucks. I don't remember what the races were, what cars they are. Did you write that down?
No, I didn't.
No,
look what was
sprint
going
cars just happened. The little ones with the wings.
Mhm.
Sprint cars just happened, so maybe it'll be the boat races.
Ooh.
I love the boat races.
Boat races are fun.
Dude, they're great.
Yeah.
Because they can't do nitro cars on there. So
And then the Firebird has the midnight drags in June 21st,
that's always fun.
which that's pretty popular.
Love midnight drags.
My shirt guy goes through all of those.
Yeah, but you guys, what do you guys drive? Do you drive anything cool?
I drive a 2012, 2014,
Him and I-
2012 Dodge Avenger.
Him
Yeah.
and our guitar player drive the same thing. So when I pull up, I'm always like, Avengers, assemble!
That's awesome.
Hell yeah.
His is much nicer than mine.
Floatable? Yes, it is.
Yeah, there's lots of great things to do here in Idaho as far as motorsports. We have some of the best, like off-road. If you're into motorcycling, dirt biking, we have some of the best single track
4x4 tracks.
4x4
Mud
tracks.
pits.
everything.
Moyes up north.
Yeah.
Great mud pit. We have all kinds of stuff for motorsports here.
Sorry, Idahoans, I'm giving away all your secrets.
Mhm.
All right, and all
It's
the,
not a secret.
All,
Lots
all
of
the
dirt,
Everybody knows it.
trucks,
Oh,
country
yeah.
music.
the big dirty hill climb.
Yep, into
Yeah.
the hill climb.
Oh yeah, all the good stuff.
And the mud volleyball.
But that's all I got for motorsports. What about you, Chad? You got anything on motorsports?
I do. That alternator I changed out on the Lexus worked good.
Yeah.
That was apparently the problem.
Ah,
Diagnosed myself. Thank you very much.
nice.
Yeah, love when that happens. Love when a plan comes together.
Me too, dude.
And I've also decided on my next project vehicle.
What you got?
I've worked on many classic cars. I love them. I love building them. I love welding, machining. I'm going to build a station wagon.
Finally.
Finally.
Do it.
I need it. That way I can
Everyone
seat
does.
6 kids in the back
Yep.
and 2 adults up front.
And
I got a big family.
And so, when are you joining the Mormon religion?
Probably never, because that's not a religion.
It's a
That's
station
a cult.
wagon.
Yeah.
This
This is
totally
like a
different, dude.
cruiser.
Yeah, this is a
Uh,
cruising wagon.
Yeah. Yeah. A little different.
Very
A little different than the soccer van.
More than little.
Whatever. You need to go get yourself a goddamn Lexus, another Lexus. That's because I know that's where your passion truly lies. He loves them damn Lexuses.
I do, but I'd have to get an SUV Lexus
And
to
dye
fit
his
all the
beard.
kids.
And dye his beard.
Purple.
Yeah.
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 So instead of doing that, I'm going to get a station wagon. I think I'm going to get an old Nova station wagon. I've never owned the wagon mobile. I've owned the 2-door Nova, a 4-door Nova, and then a Pontiac Ventura 2-door, which is
It's
essentially a
V-dub
Nova.
van, dude.
Good. Those aren't bad, but they're expensive now.
I know.
People want an arm and a leg for a V-dub.
I know. Because everyone wants one.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yep, supply and demand.
All right, let's move on to
Yeah, our local hero.
right.
We like to talk about somebody in our community doing good. Somebody we want to recognize and shout out that is helping our community or a positive influence in our community. Do you guys have a local hero?
James.
A landlord?
Yeah,
Yeah, so let's talk about him.
James McBride.
he's a badass. He's
Okay.
cool. He's a cool dude.
Yeah,
No, he's a really cool dude. He's
Very he's very
honest.
very honest, very transparent kind of guy,
It's hard to find honesty with anyone
Mm-hmm.
nowadays.
especially in a landlord.
Yeah, this guy's straightforward.
He's like,
No
hey, this
bullshit.
is
and I'm
what
gonna
you
tell
see.
how it
This
is.
is what you get.
Yep.
If you want to sign it, cool. Go ahead. If you don't, cool.
But
yeah.
he's
There's
owned his
nothing worse
business
than
for
not getting along with your
30-something
landlord,
years
quite
now,
honestly.
so-
That's horrible.
It's pretty admirable to own a business for that long and be as chill as he is.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Because you know how people are with small businesses. After you get that 25-year mark, you're just like, fuck it. You know, he's over 30 years and he's still like,
Owned a business since 16. He said.
he's chill. He's straightforward. He's a cool guy.
That's who we want as a
Yeah.
businessman.
Right?
Mhm.
Right? Someone that's not dealing with bullshit, but deals with it when he can, and he will do it. That's the thing. Is he's someone that doesn't, like slumlord. He's not like that.
It's important. Great local hero. Our local hero is the Knitting Factory.
Yes.
We love the Knitting Factory. We've played shows there before. We did a fundraiser show when they burnt down. We always go to concerts there.
Oh, yeah, I support their business quite often.
Yep.
That's who gave us the Bloody Wood.
Yep. And quite honestly, thank you, Knitting Factory, for bringing all these amazing musicians into our town.
Tech
And,
9 is constantly there.
um,
Tech 9 only plays
Yeah.
at the Knit.
yeah,
Yeah.
and it bring a lot of culture to our state by bringing in these musicians. One of the best shows I've seen in my entire life was at the Knitting Factory. Actually, I think it was the best show, and that was the last Static X concert. And oh my God, I've never seen such an amazing show.
Did you guys check that out?
I missed it.
God,
I
it was
did
so
not.
good.
I wish I would have gone. Last one I went to was on their 20th anniversary for the Wisconsin Death Trip.
Yeah.
I was at that one, front row center. Kind of regretted it. Not really though. In hindsight, just because there was so many goddamn people moving.
Bro,
It got really hot in there.
Static X gets people moving. They mosh.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they
mosh.
do.
Yeah.
It's the whole floor.
I do have a guy that is a hero for me. Besides the landlord, that's for him over there. I have to give it out to Eric Gilbert
Okay.
of Duck Club.
Eric
guy.
Gilbert, Duck Club.
That guy has helped this band particularly in so many different ways. It's unexplainable because of how much that guy reaches out for the local community and wants everyone to be together. Wants these indie bands to blend with these hardcore metal bands, to blend with these self-titled bands. They're all independent bands. He just wants it to have more of an uprising to where everyone has something to have, like some local band decides to be a band, you have some guy to run to that's going to give you the
So he's uplifting
Yeah.
the music community.
100% with the tree fort, with everything else that he stands for as being a person in charge of these kind of things. So I have to say, for a local person, that would be Eric Gilbert, 100%. That guy's a badass. He's helped us out. He got us on the show with Unprocessed, which is another band that I look up to, 100%. Major influence in with whatever I do is if I'm at a halt, I'm like, oh, pull up an Unprocessed song. How are they going to do it? So he got us on that bill. Like and then he got us into the tree fort and helping us out with that.
How was the tree fort, by the way?
Tree fort is one of the coolest things to be a part of, local, because it's a local festival that comes through for a week.
It's pretty big.
Why
It's
not?
gotten huge.
Why not be a local artist and be a part of something like that?
For sure.
Because it's not about us. It's about seeing all these other people and how much it's growing because there's so many independent artists.
Yeah, and the people are coming there to see the music.
Because there's so many independent artists. Why not? So it's going to grow that way. And that guy's a full support of making sure that is the routine that happens.
It's important.
And he pulls in bigger bands sometimes on the bills.
They've gotten some pretty big ones at Tree Fort, yeah.
Not even just Tree Fort, Duck Club in general.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You got the Knitting Factory and you got Duck Club around here. Those are the two people you're going to go to.
And then one more I want to add, the folks at Underdog. They're another smaller promotional company similar to Duck Club.
Yeah,
And
they're local.
Yeah, they're also local too. They've
Okay.
gone through a bunch of like indie stuff like that, and they've had some locals open for it as
Underdog
well.
definitely has.
Yeah,
So there's some uprising with it, but Knitting Factory and Duck Club, I think, out of the two, you guys nailed it. Would be the best to just go through if you're wanting to try to be a local scene.
Oh, thank you.
Okay.
Those two both support it both.
Love it. Love local heroes.
On to local business, okay? So we like to talk about a local business that we like to use, and it could be anything from a coffee shop to a bookstore to
Local business, preferably.
anything, something that you use on a regular basis. So
That you like to support, right? That you like to put your voice
that
behind
could
them.
use a shout out. Who
I
do you got?
own a dog grooming salon.
Yeah, hit it up.
Yeah, set it up, 100%.
Yeah.
plug it in, dude.
Oh, yeah. Doggy styling.
Doggy styling,
Yeah.
right? And where's that located?
Often in downtown Nampa, the heart of downtown Nampa.
Okay.
It is right next to kitty corner from the Nampa Library
Love that place.
and right next to the art framing shop and across the street from Boise Fry Company.
Okay, and you both work there, right?
Yeah.
All right, and So, being a dog stylist, or what would you
Dog groomer.
Dog groomer.
Dog groomer, dog stylist. Yeah.
What would you say was one of the hardest things about that job? Patience. All right.
Learning patience of an animal.
Yeah.
Because learning patience of a human being, you can get telling, fuck off. You tell that to an animal, they just look at you and go, what the fuck did you say to me? I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing.
I can imagine it's a challenging job sometimes.
No reason. So it's like...
But you have to be good with the animals, too.
Of course.
Like,
Yeah, of course you have to. I'm just saying, like, in that hindsight of, like, saying, it's like, like, dogs don't understand what you're going to say, so you can't just yell at them or do anything to them because they don't get it. There's nothing there to get. So learning the patience of being like, all right, you're just going to do this.
Learning the patience, learning
Dog language, animal
dog
language.
body language,
Exactly.
picking up on like signs of stress and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And just really just working around them, especially when you're getting more into like the elderly dogs and stuff like that. You really just got to be patient, especially be very, very calm, because dogs they can pick up on whatever you're
more
feeling too.
Emotionally in tune.
Yes,
Exactly.
they're more emotionally in tune with us.
Mhm.
So when they sense that we're on edge, we're nervous, or we're frustrated, they feel that too.
Yeah, that's their job.
Exactly.
That's been their job for a long time,
to
right?
calm, right?
You know? And once you understand that, it becomes more clear.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's hard to train people, is that patience level of companionship. And this is someone else's animal, someone else's child, whatever you want to call it, to have to teach them that. Because let's be real, have you ever tried to do your dog's nails?
Yeah, I do my dog's nails. She hates it. But she's grudgingly accepts it, but she tries to run as soon as I grab the nail
first,
trimmers.
you had to learn patience of what's going on in that situation, right? Because at first you're like, "Why? No, I just got to do it, dude. You got to get over this."
You know how many times
You
I
gotta
just
fight
wanted to take her somewhere.
The situation at first,
If
right?
you choose
I'll
to
just
try
pay
and fight
someone
it.
else.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
or you can, all right, whatever. But then the nails don't happen, and then they get bitey, and then it's like, which one do you choose? Do you just fight with them, or do you get bit all the time?
So, local business for me and Chad. We decided to pick this donut shop right down the street from me called Sweet Sensations Donuts, and they're conveniently located right next to my favorite coffee shop, which is Dutch Brothers. So that's a 2-for-1 for me. And that's
Donuts
dangerous.
Oh yeah,
100%. It's dangerous because I like my donuts and coffee before I go to work, right? And so
You're a fiend.
no, yes, yeah. Give me all that sugar right in the morning, right?
They do have great fresh donuts, though.
Mhm.
Made fresh for the day. Decent price on them. Excellent flavors.
Anytime you drive by there, it drives you crazy. The smell.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Thank you, sugar.
why did you have to do that, man?
right. Want some donuts
DK
now?
Donuts just opened up right down the street from our shop, so it's like,
Yes, they did. The grand opening. Free
Yeah.
donuts the other day.
I know. Yeah.
Did you go into the free donuts?
No, I was working.
Nah.
I was squeezing dog butts, dude.
That was a cool open that they did.
But that's our local business for this episode.
Let's get into some local politics here.
Mhm.
Not even local politics, all politics. What color of Red Bull do you drink?
Shit.
I like them all.
That's not a wrong answer.
I know.
Okay, fair enough. You're an explorer.
Yep.
Okay.
I like the orange ones.
The new orange, the strawberry apricot.
Tangerine.
That one's not bad.
Strawberry
Yeah.
apricot. That one's
Strawberry apricot.
Oh.
Yep, that's the new orange.
I like the blueberry one. I like the coconut one. I like the old original one.
Even the sugar free.
I don't really like the other ones too much though.
Have you tried the new white peach?
That one I have. It is amazing.
The strange pink. It's like
I
a
haven't
little
tried
bit
that
brighter
yet.
pink.
Oh yeah. No, I have that one.
White peach.
It's all right. I have that one.
I liked it.
I'll tell you what. I love the ones that don't have food dye in it.
Exactly.
If it doesn't have food dye in it, I'm for it. White peach, no food dye in it. Flavor's not the best, but you know what? No food dye. I can't complain.
I'll drink it now.
Okay. Next thing on politics. Have you guys been paying attention to the misinformation wars going on recently,
100%.
where we'll be told 3 different stories about the same event, and we have to decide which one is probably closer to the truth and which ones are the farthest away.
Which goes back to books and philosophy. The only information we know is what we read.
And we have to read a lot now.
So now it comes back to, they have tricked us to what you see is what you believe. But when you read something, it's different from what you see, because when you're reading, you're seeing something completely different from the knowledge that you're reading. But when you see something, you're not reading the knowledge that you're seeing.
I like where you're going here, because you're when you have to actually think about things, some things become more obvious, like corruption and what's wrong with this situation, versus just watching it and you're not really engaging your mind into it, right?
Exactly.
I like that.
That's why with what's happening with what you're talking about, is, to me, I'm sitting back and laughing at everybody.
At the bait and switch.
At every single fucking human being that's falling into this. I'm laughing at all of you guys, because, like I just said, if you're not able to read and see, then how do you know anything's true? So TikTok's not there. You're seeing something that's made up. AI's infiltrated the system. So now what is real? I don't know. So I sit back and laugh, because all I know what's real is that there's corruption and there's a lot of bullshit that's happening behind closed doors that none of us actually truly know. And it goes back to what we were talking about. If something we don't know and then we always ponder, it's been what?
Speculated.
And
it's just a speculation.
Suppressed. So that's there. This has happened before, and it's going to continue to happen until finally people wake the fuck up and search for the knowledge of what he's talking about and actually believe it. And then once that happens,
well, this kind of falls under, you could fool a lot of people a lot of the time, so you can't fool everyone all the time.
And they don't need to fool everyone, because it's the mass that is important. Everybody fucking knows that. So the game works.
Well, they kind of got it gamed, right? They like, all right, so there's like 20% of people that you will not be able to convince. There's 20% of the people that will absolutely be convinced of anything. And then it's that middle section that they really
60%.
focus in on changing their minds, right? And so they're not worried about the far left or the far right. They're just worried about changing the minds in the middle.
The mass.
Yeah.
That's the important part.
Which I'm the mind that's way over fucking here. Everyone's over in here. I'm way over here just, I'm losing. I know it sucks, but there's nothing I can do, you can do to control it.
Nope.
Protest all you want. Yeah, I have to work that day. There's just certain things I have to do to take care of my family. You guys go and do it, because I'm laughing, because no matter what I do, nothing's going to change at this point. Right
That is true. Yep, there's not much you can do right in this minute to change things. Even though we see things, even though we know things, there's nothing we can do in this moment to change it. It's too big of a cogwheel turning for us to be able to fucking make
And that's what they wanted.
significant difference within a short amount of time.
And that's how they wanted it.
Yeah, of course. That way, nothing can change quickly.
Yep. And nothing can be only controlled by them. Because the only things we can control is when we come home, if we have our families, we have our kids, we have our choices to make for that. That's where they want us. Because what is that going to do? Make them have the ultimate control and be able to do all the shady shit that's going on in the background, because all of us live a day-to-day life of working and having to take care of our families.
And this is one thing I kind of think of as a conspiracy, is they want us working so much that we can't pay attention to anything else, because we're trying to just maintain a basic life. And then
It's always been like that ever since Rockefellers took over the educational system. That's what they said. He said, I want a whole system of workers, not thinkers. Because if we had a system of thinkers,
it's
We'd
bad
have Nikola
for,
Tesla.
we would have so much more
it's
shit
bad
going
for
on.
government having too many thinkers.
It's bad for profit. And what is this guy? He always says something. What is it? Something about...
There's so many things.
I know, he says there's no profit into peace. What is it like?
A world without problems isn't profitable.
Correct. No, we could have solved all the world's problems long ago with how much money America makes alone. That America, literally, instead of spending our money what we've spent it on, we literally could have had a utopia of a world where nobody has to work, nobody has to worry. We just get to create. Musicians get to create. people who make rugs get to create. The creators get to create, and you no longer have to work. We could have had that long ago, but there's no money in it. Why would we do that? Right? And there's no control or power in it.
Well, that's what he said. That makes sense, right?
Yeah, 100%.
This. But that's why I feel like it was what's happening, because people say separation. That's where the separation is so many people learned a certain thing here, when they were blindsided here. And you look at, if you literally take what I just said and go into a different room and ask people that same question that you just asked him and shit, you're going to get the same odds.
It's the game of telephone. They taught us early in school.
Yeah.
They said, watch this, you dumb fucks.
Yep.
You think you know something? Watch what happens when 3 people try to tell you what you already know. It's going to be different, I guarantee it. You're going to get 3 different stories.
And the
because
Mandela
it went through 3
effect
different
happens.
parties. Yep. And it changes to something
that's
else.
a weird phenomenon right there.
Then we're
It
all
really
sitting back
isn't,
there.
because everybody sees
exactly what
something
he's talking
different.
about right now.
Everybody lives in their own reality. You're player 1, whereas everybody else is player 2, right? What you see and what makes sense to you is something completely different to everybody else. And that's where it gets crazy.
Well, what happened when you were raised as a child? What did your parents tell you? Your imagination is strong. That's what you want to do. Oh, he's just a kid. He's a superhero right now. He goes and puts on a blanket and it puts on a little things. He becomes his own person, right? Is that your imagination? Right? So that's exactly what creates who you are at a certain point as a kid. But that carries along with you and what he's talking about here. So that's so easy to start misinforming people at a young age. Not saying that imagination is wrong, just saying, there you go. Look what we just did to a whole entire society.
We can't help it. It's naturally ingrained in us to all have our own imagination,
Yeah.
and we're being played on that.
Exactly.
There's nothing we can do about it,
it's
right?
not our fault. It's
And
not anyone else's fault other than they know this information of a frequency that happens into our brains when we're young, and they can play on it.
Yeah, and we don't want to change it, because we've seen what happens when we take away children's creativity. We literally just did. We
Zombies.
pulled out the tablets. We gave children a tablet or a cell phone to pay attention to instead of creating their own. And this is where we're at right now.
Yep.
Well, that's what I got on politics. I'm done bending the mind.
All right, let's go on to world events. Summer solstice is June 21st, which is the longest day of summer, right?
Yes, it is.
Yeah. Ah, yes, gotta love it. Now that's a day to go floating river right there. You maybe even do it twice. All right. For world events today on June 17th in 1963, they banned Bibles in schools and the required reading of biblical text in that year. Also, the Battle of Bunker Hill was on June 17th of 1775, which is a famous battle.
Yep.
Civil War battle, I believe.
Yes.
No.
No, it's Reverend.
There was not a Civil War battle.
Was it?
Civil War was way
No.
Think of the
before
time
after
you
that.
just said.
1773.
is Rebel,
Now, what
dude.
happened
Oh,
in
Revolution.
1776?
The Revolution. Yes.
Thank you.
I was
Thank
gonna
you for
say,
getting
I'm
American
not a
facts
history
right.
I was about to say, I was
I
like,
just
wait,
read some stuff off of Google's.
Yeah, it's
okay?
all right.
cut that
Okay.
out.
Oh, no, we're leaving it.
In 1944, Iceland declared their independence from Denmark on this day. And so,
I didn't know it was this.
But Denmark owns Greenland.
That's true.
right. So that's all I got on world events. But
Did you guys see the Elon Musk drug test?
what do you mean?
Okay. So Elon Musk, everybody knows, just took a drug test and posted it up on X,
Really?
formerly known as Twitter,
Mm-hmm.
and then called out all the New York Times, Washington State Journal, all the other news sources, because X is a news site now.
Pretty
And he
much.
said, okay, here's my random drug test. You guys go ahead and post up yours. And that's not too random, but it would be funny to see every other journalism place require, let's see what drugs you're on.
Yeah,
How reliable are you?
never happened.
No, it won't happen.
Yeah.
No, that's what's funny about him calling him out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Elon's crazy, man. He's not afraid.
He's
to call-
wild.
Yeah, he's like the Wild West, man. He'll
Yep.
call anyone out.
Yeah, the Matrix does not have control of Elon Musk.
No, he's a free.
He knows too much Nicholas Tesla shit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's a free agent.
Yeah.
He's more freelance.
Mm-hmm.
Mm, I would be scared shitless if I ran into him because he's just like a mega force on Earth, right?
God, I would.
Yeah.
I'd be fucking just awe-inspired, and I'd talk to him about rockets.
Yeah.
All right, what do we got to do, my dude? We need heat shields that can easily go to the next spaceship. What are we
Right.
doing here?
What are we talking about?
And he'd
My
start
Robot?
driving.
Have we seen that movie? Yeah,
Right.
you're doing that. All right. Let's talk about
Subservience? I don't know.
But all right. So as far as world events go, is there any particular world events you would like to personally go see? Any like festivals, anything like that? And how about you, Miguel? Is there anything that you would like to go see in the world?
I think probably I would want to go see how
Darkness.
what is it? Maybe probably how I think it's either the New Year or how they celebrate Independence Day in Mexico.
Yeah.
For sure.
that
Yeah,
would be
that'd be
sick.
cool.
Because I know they got they do everything, not everything, but the way that they do things for when celebrating their own culture, like their own Independence Day, the way they do their New Year thing. It's very
Day of the Dead.
Day
all
of the
these
Dead
things.
stuff like that. Yeah, it's
Yep. Dia de
very
Muerte.
That's what I want to go see.
very
Day of the
extravagant.
Dead Festival would be fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially if you're down there by some of those Mayan temples and you get all that historical spirits, and all that. Oh,
That'd be creepy.
I'm into that stuff.
I love that shit too. I
Mm.
printed a Aztec death whistle because I have a 3D printer.
Oh, that's awesome.
And those things are scary,
I
man.
want one,
Dude, I'll print you one.
bro. You got a 3D printer, man. Those are so awesome. Some of the stuff they're making with those 3D printers are
Incredible.
incredible.
Reality.
No, bamboo lab.
Enders are popular.
I won't be impressed until you can 3D print a 3D printer that works.
I actually have shit for it.
You can 3D print a house.
You can.
I've been watching videos of that too.
You could also make it out of hempcrete.
Yeah.
I would love having a hempcrete house. I just think that'd be cool.
I would love that shit.
Can't burn.
Would that insulate well?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Can't burn. So
And it's strong.
can't burn. Fully insulated to heat and cold.
Makes sense.
How about you, Tanner? Is there any world events you would like to go see personally? Something spectacular that you would like to participate in, or just be there?
Somewhere in Europe. I don't know what goes on too much over there. I just want to be there.
Demi Bergier and Old Man's Child on tour.
Uh,
Great tour over there right now in Europe. They're going like Sweden, Germany, Norway, all the circle of.
Yeah, that's where I want to be.
Viking
in that,
circle.
I just want to be in that Viking circle. Dude.
What's that festival in Germany where they just
It's like a 3 or 4
I don't know
day
I
festival.
don't really know how else to describe it.
I don't know, my
besides
parents
they
were
just drink
there.
a lot of beer.
The beer fest?
Oh, the beer fest.
Probably.
I would love to.
No,
go.
Oktoberfest.
I think it's
Yeah.
Oktoberfest.
I would
I think that's
love-
what it is.
We have that here as well, a small version.
But yeah.
It's Julie Davis.
Yeah, but I want to go to Germany where it's like
Yeah, the whole
real
deal.
beer. You know,
Mm.
shit that's been old man that's just sitting there still doing it for the last 100 years, still
Right.
alive, brewing beer. I want that guy's beer.
Oh, he's got good beer.
Yeah, he better have good beer.
Yeah,
He got passed
non-GMO.
down from grandpa,
Yep.
and he's a grandpa. I want that beer.
How about you, Chad? Is there anything you would like to go see?
Dude, I would love to go to one of these tours that is like, European only, like Septic Flesh.
See,
Oh.
like, yeah, something like that,
Mm.
dude.
When could we see Septic Flesh? We can't because they're in Italy.
The last
When
time
could we see Dimmu?
they came
We
through,
can't.
they snuck through without me knowing. They were here and gone before I was like, oh my god, I missed them.
I would
Yeah.
love to see one of those great European tours where pretty much every death metal band that's from Europe
Mhm.
is touring there.
Yeah.
God, I'd love that.
Dude, that would be his dream. What are you talking about, Miguel? You would just sit
Yeah.
there and be like, I'm never going home.
Now we just
Yeah.
got to
No
see.
need.
We just got to see
What-
Cradle of Filth. Which
Yeah.
was amazing. That fucking was. I was so excited to see.
Oh, it was
them.
great.
Yeah, and
That's
yeah, we
how
just
how
need-
was it?
Amazing.
Was it?
Because there wasn't too many people there.
It wasn't
It's at
packed
the Rev, right? And it
Yeah.
wasn't packed because Willie Nelson was going on.
the same day.
Since Willie was going
I
on,
live by the Idaho Center, so I heard all of that.
oh, dude, it was great. Small, intimate show. Cradle doesn't fuck around. Their musicians are straight to the point. They know their shit, and they play it perfect every time. So they get to have fun on stage. Oh, it was great.
Oh, man.
And we got litty titty, dude. We told the ladies, you got to drive tonight because we're taking shot after shot after shot.
Sure.
And David Rader and I all went. We had a great time.
They're pouring big fat Jaeger shots at me, and I was like, no, I think I was slurring on the way out.
It's like, that's all right.
Good times.
But yeah, back to what he was saying. I think it's Bloodstock is
Nah.
somewhere over
Bloodstock.
there.
Yep.
Bloodstock is over there.
Open
on
air.
that.
What is it? Oh, the name escapes me. It's another big festival there. You got Bloodstock.
Yeah, the amount of people that go to those
Yeah.
festivals are huge. They're
Yeah.
freaking massive.
Metal in general over there is massive.
Mm-hmm.
It's huge.
So
That's why I belong there.
That's where we all belong.
one day you may be there, right? All right, is that
That's probably it on world events. Let's jump into our vinyl. We got a section called vinyl. Now, this Spider-Man was kind of included, but let's get really into it.
No, that's legit.
We got Cannabis Corpse. Have you gentlemen heard of Cannabis Corpse?
I have heard of them.
heard of them.
Have you listened to them?
Not a lot.
Oh,
I haven't really
they
heard them
are
much.
freaking amazing.
Okay, we're talking about supreme musicians here with like
Yeah.
Cradle or Dimmu or any of these metal bands. Cannabis Corpse is one of like the most astounding musicians you've ever heard with their transfers, with their solos, with their everything that they bring to the table. I highly advise you guys check this out.
Yeah, it's not just a play off the name. These guys are A+ musicians, and their artwork is amazing.
It's not just a
Love
gimmick.
Yeah,
That's
love
you.
it.
I know this. That's
Right.
why I'm like, this is all about
And
me
check
right
and
here.
check out the names: Conquerors of Chronicon, Nug So Vile, Blunt Force Down,
This is
Domain,
totally me, dude.
Cylinder of Madness, Blasphemy Hash, Chiba, Jigsaw
Dude,
Quandary.
I'm glad you guys I've heard of it, but I haven't really
I got to
dive
see
into
these
Now you
guys
need
live
to
once.
investigate and take the deep
No,
dive.
now I need to go buy
Okay.
that.
My
Cannabis Corpse.
My
Where'd
buddy
you find
Raider.
that?
My buddy Raider one day, he was like, "Hey man, you want to go see Cannabis Corpse?" I've never even heard of this band. I was like, "You mean Cannibal Corpse, right?" He's no Cannabis Corpse.
He
So
said, "No, shut the hell up!
Yeah.
I told you what I
yeah,
told you."
yeah, I was like, "Fine, let's go." And we got to go. I got to go see this
Raider
band.
Dean?
Yeah,
Yes, sir.
yeah,
I
I
love
got
that
to go
guy.
see this band because Raider drugged me along, and fuck, I've been a fan of theirs ever since. And they got so much good music.
Oh, they have a ton. So many
so
albums.
many
They have like
albums.
9 or 10 albums.
And they're all
Jesus.
Yeah, they're heavy
amazing.
duty.
There we go, Miguel.
And I'm not playing. When I say like they're extreme musicians, they fucking put down, dude.
Mm.
Like think about Dimebag Darrell back in the early 90s. How hard he went, right? With Pantera, Damage Plan. Whatever the fuck he did, how hard he put down. These guys go that hard.
Yeah.
Oh, it's great, dude.
Okay.
Yeah, huge fan of theirs.
Highly advise it.
Uh-huh.
Okay, next vinyl we got. The Offspring. I know you guys are familiar. Everybody's familiar. This is probably one of the only good things to come out of California, to be honest with you.
Besides skateboards,
Hey, that's 2 out of 7.
Offspring.
Longboards.
Longboards.
Yep.
but yeah,
This is the way.
this is my
Volumes.
my favorite
Volumes
Offspring
is a
album
good band.
is Ignition. I got to see these guys play live once, and it was their acoustic set, and it was probably one of
I've
the
never been able to
best.
see him. I wanted to see him out there.
it was one of the best shows I ever seen. It was a freaking amazing. They even played covers, and they were all just amazing. Some of the best musicians on earth.
Oh, they're great.
Oh,
Dude,
no,
they
they
have
are.
great they have like the most metal chugs.
This vinyl
Yeah.
is particularly beautiful.
That is cool.
No, those guys are definitely in my faves of all times, because that's what got you started with the power chord movement and being able to do those slides and kind of
Yeah,
power
their
chord
guitarist
stuff when you're learning how to be a guitar. You know,
It's really quick with its those choppy riffs.
yeah, that's what I mean. So
Yeah.
like learning how to do the transition of keeping that structure with power chord movement. Those guys are a perfect band to start off learning with that.
Yep.
Like
Great changes.
It was actually some of the music that I learned how to play guitar on. Metallica, Pantera, Offspring, Alice in Chains. All that time. So
I
when
was Machine Head.
Yeah.
And then Pantera, of course, Offspring, Blink 182. And then I went all the way to, you already said it, System of a Down.
Yeah.
And then,
Well, that's
for
where we
my
grew up.
Valentine.
Gentlemen, That's where we grew up,
Bolt
right?
for My Valentine was one that got me into it, and then right after I got introduced to Bolt for My Valentine, Poison was Avenged Sevenfold.
Yep.
Sounding
Amazing
the seven
guitarist.
trumpets. And
Yeah,
that's when I was
Sinister
like-
Gates is probably one of the greatest guitar players of
He's-
our time.
He is one of my, actually in my top 5 favorite guitar players, and he's number 3 for me. So that guy is, yes, I love that guy.
So
I love that he has his dad come play piano on a couple songs.
That, and I love how he sometimes goes, because his dad is just a comedian guitar player, right? So that's what he does. He just goes around and plays guitar and says jokes. So sometimes his son, Brian, will go and do some of his shows with him, but then like you just said, his dad will do some of the piano work and stuff with them. And I love that. I was like, yeah, keep
Nice.
it in the family. That's
I love how they
sick.
did Zombies.
Oh, yeah.
Who else gets to create the music for Call of Duty Zombies?
Right.
One of the most iconic games in the world,
Mm-hmm.
right? That's all I let my children play because I'm like, this is as close to real life as you get. This is what you get to play, Call of Duty Zombies.
Well, Avenged Sevenfold's amazing. You know that they're a good band. I'm not gonna lie, like they are a fucking legit band.
They are.
So, are you guys vinyl collectors at all?
I did
Yes,
start
we are.
in the
Yeah.
last within the last year. I started collecting.
Nice.
I have
Good choice.
Necrogoblicon signed.
From their most recent concert here.
Yep.
Yeah.
I was there.
I was there too. It was my birthday actually.
Hell yeah.
But I was when they came through the Rev last year. I was there and I met all the other guys other than John Goblin and Dickie.
I was going to say, Dickie wasn't there that one.
Yeah,
They
he
had
was.
their old singer, didn't they?
No, that was the time before that. I
Oh, okay,
missed that
okay,
one.
okay.
But no, Dickie was there
With
at the Rev.
Death Clock and
Yep.
Dragon
yeah,
the
Force.
Death
yeah,
Clock
that
show,
one
yes.
they had Dickie was there.
Amazing
Yeah, that
show.
was a great
Amazing
show.
show.
But I got my sweatshirt halfway signed, and then there's just this recent one on my birthday. My wife got it. Well, he did too for my birthday. Got me tickets because it's my birthday, and Necrogoblicon's one of my favorite bands.
Killer.
So I got to go see him, and I got to complete the signage sweatshirt to completion,
Very nice.
and got a little record that was signed.
Thank you, Vinyl.
I kind of stumbled back upon a vinyl, a couple of years ago, like 5 years ago or something like that. And I just got a record player, and then I got an Eagles album, and I love my classic rock. And I started listening to it, and on a good system, right, not just this little
Mhm.
system. And for some reason, the music was just so much richer, and there's like certain things that were just popping out so much more than.
Yep.
And I was like, "What is going on here?" And so after that, and I just buying up records left
Oh
and
yeah,
right.
no, that's
I
where
went crazy
we're at
ass
now.
Chad, like
It's because it's good for you.
That's where we're at. We have a whole big, huge record thing. When we go to Salt Lake, we always try to stop to the record stores. We try to go anywhere
Yep.
and just find any records possible. He orders records. He had a good 2 months where there was a good 3 weeks out of those 2 months. Every day there was a fucking vinyl showing up on the front doorstep.
Isn't it funny how most of the media now is either digital or vinyl?
It's all digital.
And,
Yeah, vinyl seemed to come back
Resurgence. It definitely has.
within the last
Over
maybe-
CDs, dude. No one has a
years.
CD.
CD's trash.
they-
Scratch is too
they-
easy.
Yeah, they skip really easy.
Skip and track. Yep.
Not only that, the sound on a
But
CD.
why did they put them everywhere in a car? Now everything's Bluetooth to your phone in a car.
Well, that was the Laserdisc wars. That's who won.
That's
Yep.
true.
Mm.
Motherfuckers. Don't get me back into politics.
Yeah,
Yep.
literally, I've gotten to see the media change from records to cassette tapes to CDs to MP3s into streaming
Yeah,
platforms.
you guys.
Yeah,
Jesus.
yeah.
So have I, but I was little, so it wasn't something I didn't care about. At that time being little, I cared about my Yu-Gi-Oh and Pokemon and Magic cards,
Yeah.
Mhm.
which we still are very big Magic card people.
Hey, I just came into a collection of Magic, Dragon Ball Z, and Pokemon cards. A ton of them.
I'll take
Tons
your
of
Magic
foils,
cards.
tons of rares. It's kind of crazy.
Well, actually, so you need to talk to us because our guitar player, his friend, actually has an online TCG player account store. It's where he can actually take all those cards and scan them, give you an actual
okay.
and you can sell it to him, and he'll sell them online, and he'll make a percentage off of it.
Right.
Cut, kind
Yep.
of thing.
Nice.
So you can do that, but
Yeah, I'm definitely interested.
instead of going, here's a secret. Instead of going, I'm just selling a bulk amount of Magic cards. Am I wrong? you go through, identify them all.
Already did. Already took out the specials.
Yeah, so if
Yep.
you did that already, but you can actually have them legitimately scanned through our buddy Swine, then they'll be, you can make a little bit more money, but
And he got an elf mask, which he needs
I
to
did.
bring for the podcast because we're gonna rock it here on the podcast.
That elf mask will be cool.
Oh, yeah.
Also got some unopened packs of all those cards too.
Magic.
Magic? No, not Magic. Just Pokemon and Dragon Ball Z.
So Pokemon.
Or yes, I do have a couple Magics.
what
Sorry,
ones? I'll buy them from you right now.
I have like 6 or
Depends on
7
what
of the Magic ones.
From what set?
Exactly.
Yeah, I don't know.
Tell me.
I'm
what set and I'll
a
buy
little
'em.
bit older than the trading card game stuff. That wasn't really my thing. I just acquired
We
it
are.
because I knew it was collectible. So I have these things,
Oh,
right?
no,
But
we
that's
are.
not my love.
We're all on the whole traded cards.
Ah.
Yeah, I couldn't
Same
exactly
with
tell you
Olas.
what the deck
So
is.
those Pokemon cards, he'll buy all of them.
Yeah, I have a ton of
right
them and a ton of different eras of that as
now.
well.
He'll buy
You know,
all
like
of them.
I remember one Fire and Ice that's super easy, right?
Mm.
So just stuff like that.
That's what he does. His hustle is selling Pokemon cards.
Okay, well I'll talk to him then because I got a ton of them.
Yeah, Otis Gardner, our other guitar player in the band, just hit him up. Hey, I got a bunch of Pokemon. What do you think they're worth?
Okay.
Nice. Well, we're on to the final little stretch of our podcast. Is the final question. So we're going to ask you 3 questions each. So my first question is, what is your favorite quote?
Shit happens when you party naked.
I like it.
It's the truth.
No. All right. How about you?
There's always a bigger fish.
Okay.
Star Wars, nice.
Yeah.
Qui-Gon Jinn, eh? How about you? What's your favorite quote? And then I'll
Well,
tell mine.
Am I going to say it again?
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Here it is. What is best in life? Crush your enemies, see them driven before you, and hear the lamentations of the women and the children.
Now, I do have a favorite quote about people being sheep. I found another really good one that I want to spit out this time. It is, reality is the universe's taking a selfie.
Damn, that's deep, man.
It's pretty deep, right?
It is.
And
That
if
is
you understand it, you understand it. If
Yeah.
you don't get it, you don't get it.
I don't understand that.
You
Okay.
gotta
What are you
explain.
meaning here?
Okay, on to my question. Miguel, what is a pivotal moment in life where you learned something, it helped you, and you understand that now? Tell us about that,
Pooping in the toilet.
right? I have to wipe.
Where
Yes.
where I went through something and I learned.
Correct. Yep, a pivotal moment in your life where you went through something, you learned it, you applied it to your life, and now you just know it by heart,
And it changed you.
and it changed you. Yep.
Um,
To help other people, to give other people something they may not know, right?
you're trying to. I have it. I just want to word it. I just want to word it correctly.
Leave it to Chad to give you a tough one.
You're right. You're.
I got one instantly right now.
I feel like you're not gonna make everyone happy, so you're better off just doing what you want, doing what you love.
Oh, yeah.
Excellent. Yep.
All right.
Yep.
I got one too.
Let's hear it.
Like a pivotal moment.
Yep.
That's
A
what I
pivotal
learned.
moment.
So, I used to be a stupid kid. Everyone did. I chose doing a bunch of illegal activities and stuff. You know,
Sure.
everyone goes through that youth period. But instead of me like seeking for the professional help of the institutionalized pills that you take, all that bullshit, I went and chose to be homeless and travel around California and Washington, backpacking with my longboard and my guitar. And I did all of that, and it was a Christmas. I was at a train station in Walla Walla, Washington, and I had no cigarettes. I had nothing, just me and my guitar. There's just random dude that just walks up, hands me a pack of cigarettes, hands me $20, says, "Where you going?" I'm like, "I don't know, nowhere. It's Christmas. Whatever." And he goes, "Do you have a phone?" I was like, "No." So I told him where I'm at. I was in a dark place. So he gives me this pack, we smoke, everything, whatever, and he goes, "Come over." So I go over to his house, and he's living with his grandparents at the time and everything, and they have this huge fucking mansion. But Christians, right? So it's just very homey. And I come walking in, and they're like, "Oh, hey, here's some clothes, here's some food, here's this, here's that. And I'm like, why are you guys doing this? You don't even know me. And they're just like, it's Christmas, and you look like you're a kind-hearted person, so I want to help you. And I'm like, what? So what that taught me was the entire time I was going through drug addiction, I kept putting myself and my feelings first. I needed to find the high. It was my feelings over the matter. What that taught me was what matters is what you feel the most. And I was like, fucking whoa! So I got sober, I went home, took care of my kid, now I have full custody of my kid, and I'm a family man.
Awesome.
So that's what changed my life, was that it just clicked on a Christmas with this family that took me in, because I was doing a bunch of drugs, I was being stupid.
Learned it wasn't about you.
Yeah! And I was like, whoa! It just clicked. It was weird. It was the weirdest feeling, and the guy was like, he gave me a house for 3 months and everything else, and gave me a job. And then I was like, you know what? I need to be home. So I moved.
Nice.
It was weird.
Good story.
Perfect. That's what we're looking for.
Me? I would say when I started taking martial arts when I was a young man, I was we were really poor, a lot of emotional turmoil in my life, and a lot of anger, and they gave me an outlet, a constructive outlet to channel that. And I always had a high amount of anger, right? So when I would go to martial arts, it would allow me to focus, work really hard on something that was not hard to learn, right?
But
I mean,
above
it
you.
wasn't easy to learn. It was hard.
It was something above you.
challenging. Yeah, my sensei was a really cool guy, and really looked up to him, And so I think that really changed me personally. Is I couldn't see my life without the martial arts aspect of it.
Do you think that's because you have more of a competitive mind?
It could be a lot of things. As I said, I did not have
I
the
agree with
best
that.
childhood, and then
You see what I'm saying?
my
When I
brother
asked
says
that,
I'm
it's mine as
competitive
well.
a lot, so maybe that's what it is.
that's what I'm saying. Like,
It is.
My brother's like,
it
he's
takes a
like,
competitive mind to learn what you're just talking about.
"Do you have to compete all the time?" I'm like, "Well, maybe."
no, it does.
It's something that some people do, and onto mine. Mine is most definitely martial arts as well.
Mm.
That was a huge pivotal moment in my life. I want to say I was like 12, 13, 14, just barely a teenager.
Yeah.
My parents joined my brother and I up, and Kempo, it was a great escape because we were both the competitive type. We were both the, I always did karate. My brother always did wrestling. We were always fighting no matter what. So once we got actually into karate, it was like, okay, this feels natural. This is what we're
Right.
supposed to be doing. We're supposed to be challenging ourselves to other people and not just like a computer
Yeah,
or an idea.
Right? Yeah.
And that's carried with me through my entire life, even to now, where my favorite video games are PvP.
Yeah. No.
I pretty much only play games where it's against other people. There's really, other than zombies, right? Zombies, you're not doing PvP. You're doing how long can you last?
You're going to get the mask. Yeah.
Yep. A little bit different situation, but my favorite games are PvP games where I challenge myself to somebody else. Like we played chess the other day, right? This is where we find ourselves.
Yeah.
Is in the challenge of not an idea, not a thing, but another person, another live being where, just like your book talked about, the other person is you. They know what you're going to do. So you better up your game and get a little bit better skills.
That's why you walk into the situation with no intention.
Yep. No preconceived notion of what's going to happen.
Exactly.
You make it as you go. You
Yep.
live in the here and now.
Yep.
And that's also what my quote was about reality is the universe taking a selfie.
Yep. Yeah, that's exactly what your quote is.
All right.
So that's mine.
All right. So my second question. Okay. Let's start with you. If you take 2 TV shows or 2 movies and combine them into one mad masterpiece, what would they be?
It would have to be the movie Legion
Great movie.
and
Paul Bettany.
movie Legion and probably the Doom movie.
Good call.
Ooh.
Put that together.
Gumbo.
I like that one, huh?
Very interesting.
Hellslayer and Michael coming down.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Right on. That's good. How about you?
For
If you could squish two TV a full series together or two movies together and make it one thing, what would you do?
Scooby Doo and that '70s show.
That would fit pretty goddamn good, quite honestly. Yeah, Ruby is the
And it
perfect.
matches
Yeah.
your outfit today, doesn't it?
Yeah.
No, I like it.
Yep. How about you, Chad?
Let's see. I would probably do a couple movies, and I would want Big Trouble in Little China and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
That'd be funny.
Dude, that would be cool.
The Ninja Turtles help Jack Burton
Jack Bird.
save Chinatown with their ninjutsu skills. Right? You're from the Wang Kong Express, you
That's-
cockbag. Right? I love it, dude. I love it. That's what I want.
Oh, that was awesome. Chad, I like it.
Fucking A. All right. What are you combining? Your two movies or TV? What are they going to be?
Coneheads with aliens.
Alien on Alien. Nice. Fucking freaks. Freaks. Okay. I like it. Okay.
All right.
Miguel, give us one thing that you think could change the world for the better right now. What is it?
One thing that could change in the world for the better.
Change the world for the better.
Change the world
Yep.
for the
One
better.
idea, one concept, one thing.
If the concept of greed didn't exist,
Great one. Yep. That would change a lot of problems. We'd have a different perspective.
Shut the fuck up.
Listen more.
I'm just kidding. No, he kind of nailed it. Like greed. One thing that could change the world. What's already existed? Free energy.
That definitely could.
It wouldn't give us they wouldn't make every single human being or American have to work every day.
It would get to go into creative mode.
You'd be able to choose to work or work, but they think that is less profitable. But if you think about it, you would give people the ultimate choice, and if the people who don't choose, we'd have chaos, but there's laws. So would not just be a better community of people who choose to work to better themselves and the people around them rather than people who are forced? Just saying.
Not bad. One small change.
I would make music and martial arts part of your education curriculum.
That's smart.
Martial arts, definitely 100% agree with that. High five. Yep. 100% agree with that.
Music and martial arts. I believe
Martial arts should
there's
be a sport just like baseball, football, all that. It should 100% be one.
Yeah.
Forced, too. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I'll say it as a dictatorship here. Force that shit because every kid needs to learn how to defend themselves.
it'll make every kid confident.
Yep.
Right.
Yep. And then it'll cut the depression bullshit out of the equation, right?
I like where you're going with that. Mine is very close to that. I would change our construct that we have as our learning construct and change it to things that are important. What are things that we need to know? Well, I mean, we shouldn't
How
have
to balance
to know.
your
How to balance a
budget.
checkbook, how to
Yeah.
do taxes,
It won't
how to
happen,
grow a
man.
garden.
It won't happen. That already was invented in the late 20s.
That is my change that I would
Why
make.
hemp's illegal.
Yeah, it is. Even though it
That's
was
why the
legal.
paper companies were frowned upon. Well, frowned upon at first because they were ripping down trees, but then all of a sudden they made weed illegal, and now the paper companies were praised, and marijuana is illegal. So
Yeah.
what you're talking about will never happen because it already happened in the 20s.
And that's why I want to make it. That would be my change is
Then me and you
Our
will
education.
sit down and talk, and we'll start a whole group to get that going. Because
Well,
I'm
it's
a firm
the-
believer on that
The
one.
machine has
Smart.
already got their gears running this way, right? And so to change the function of the machine is very hard to do. And that's what it is. Like
Well, now if you know how a machine operates like this guy does,
these
he knows how to build a
corporations
car.
already have their cogs going, right? And so even though the change would be positive for society, the corporations would fight it, right? Because they don't
yes,
want,
but this is a what if situation. Our questions, right?
Yeah, I
That's
know.
what makes this beautiful.
Dude.
yeah, right.
Yep. Is
It's always
we're
put
not
into the
fighting
air,
the system
right?
here. We're not trapped in the matrix here. We're not having to bypass a fucking system to get a system in place. We are literally just saying,
What if we could? Yeah.
what if we could?
Which
And
is the beauty
this
of
is
these
my
questions.
change.
Yeah.
Yep. You're up next.
All right. Here's my last question. All right, let's start with you. These questions are inspired by Pinky and the Brain.
Animaniacs.
You're taking over the world tonight. What is your plan?
Well,
What are we going to do today, Brian?
we're gonna take over the world, right?
Yeah.
Well,
what's your
okay.
master plan?
Master plan on how to do that.
Mhm.
Well, first you shut off the power grid to where everyone knows has no communication skills whatsoever with cell phones.
Complete
Okay.
blackout.
Right.
Complete, right? But in the process of doing that, you secure the ocean. You let people scramble within between borders of states and countries inside their own countries. But you secure the ocean outer borders to where no one can exit.
No travel.
No travel at all across anywhere. And then once you do that, you just completely control the food system. You control what people put in their bodies, like what we already have. Am I relating to a lot of shit that's already happening right now?
No. Spill it out. Spill it out, brother.
And then you control education.
Mm-hmm.
Then
Smart.
after you do that, this is a time. This is not just going to happen tomorrow. This doesn't happen in about a span of hundreds
Long-term.
and hundreds of years.
Mhm.
But once you control the education, the borders, the ocean travels, the way the system of how money works and calculated into nothing, because money is nothing. And once you actually be able to set a number to people who want greed, you'll have total control of the people and be able to kill themselves and no one matters. But you.
All right.
That's how you gain power.
Whoa, it's weird. It's kind of what's going on in the world.
There's a lot of things going on like that. And, and
That's how I would take over the world, guys.
if you pay too much attention, it's going to hurt your brain. Right?
Yep.
Yeah. How about you, Chad? How are you taking over the world tonight?
I think it's Miguel's turn.
Oh no, yeah, it's Miguel. Sorry, Miguel. How are you taking over the world tonight?
Right, like I'm going to leave here tonight and go take.
You have a master plan already in your brain. You just need to tell us.
That was not my master plan, by the way. I'm not crazy.
I'm gonna go home and replace everybody's water supply with gasoline,
Shit.
and convince them that it's water.
And light them on fire, huh?
This plan sounds like fire.
Explosive.
What? I'm gonna start with.
light the tubes.
I'm gonna start with.
Sorry, I think that's
I'm
hilarious.
gonna start with a random drinking fountain. Just gonna let it run for a second. Just take a match and just start it there, and then it travels everywhere.
This sounds like a great music video already.
Fire.
New song idea.
It's giving me ideas right now.
Okay.
That's hilarious.
All right. How about you, Chad?
Pinky in the brain moment. What do I want to do? I think I'm going to still stick with my brain ray to change people's brain perspectives.
You going hypnotoad on
Yeah.
with the brain ray?
Yeah.
Brain ray. Huh?
Yeah, I'd hit him with the brain ray. We probably already got something like that. Who knows?
It's called sonic, yeah, with frequencies.
More like the phone, right?
Well, yep.
It's more like a phone where we look at it.
Yeah.
Get them trapped in there, make them do what I want to do.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mine was
I'm gonna make chaos.
invent a commercial that actually is like hypnotoad. Right. As soon as it comes on, you're just like, right, and then you own the world, right?
Sounds simple. Okay, gentlemen. Start with Miguel. What's your favorite place in Idaho?
Favorite place in
Favorite
Idaho?
place in Idaho.
It can be any place.
Damn right.
Is Lucky Peak in Idaho?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Oh, I would go with Lucky Peak.
Okay, Lucky Peak's dope. Like Lucky Peak.
A lot of childhood memories there.
Yep. Swimming.
Yep.
Of course. Okay.
Coeur d'Alene.
Love Coeur d'Alene. What do you like about it?
So my brother, his dad, so he's my brother through my mom. His dad's family is who architect and built the Coeur d'Alene Resort up there. And we know the Hagedons, which is who owns Coeur d'Alene, basically. BlackRock, all of that.
Well, they've been there a long time. It's
The Hagedon, Dwayne Hagedon, which was the multi-millionaire that was in Boise. Not Boise, but the richest guy in Idaho. His family now. but I knew him personally, and it's just kind of like a family thing up there because I know so many people. Kardashians, their house. We used to sit for the person who owned it before, but yeah. So go up there to the lake. I have like free access into the resort, free access, and that's where I take my kids and the family, and we have a free place to stay, all that cool stuff.
Chad's from Northern Idaho, so he's
So you know the resort then,
Northern
right?
Idaho.
Well, of course, I know the
Yeah,
the
so
old
I
resort.
have like ultimate just walk in there, free access. Here's my name.
If you were
So-
born in Coeur d'Alene, you were actually born a couple blocks from there at the Big Blue Hospital.
I wasn't born there. My brother was.
No, I'm not saying
but
you were.
Yeah.
I'm just saying if you were, that is right next to the lake.
Yes, 100%.
Yep, it's a hot.
But I was
step away.
raised. I went from here to there every year with my brother because he was. Whenever he came down here for the summertime for a month, I would go back up with him to Coeur d'Alene for 2 months and then come back here for school. So I would hang up there.
I love going up north with Chad. The one thing that I found that was super cool is all the roads have little dirt roads on the side where you could live your entire life
dude.
without owning a license and just get around on a
Yep.
four by
100%. Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't need no driver's license. I got my
Nope.
side by side.
Yeah,
But when you go up
Yep.
and through those trails and
Uh,
shit, that's where me and my brother would always just pull off the side. Oh, here's a hill. There's no one around, but now there's a bunch of people out there.
There is, but there's still the in between spaces.
Yes.
Like if you're going between Twin Lakes and Spirit Lake,
Yeah.
right?
No,
and there is
that
dirt
gap.
trails all
Right.
along the sides. There's plenty of places to pull off, whether you want to shoot, have a barbecue, or light something on
It
fire.
used to be like that going to Hudson too. But now it's not like that anymore.
Mm.
It's like straight shot.
Favorite place in Idaho?
Crouch. I love
Crouch is
Crouch.
beautiful.
Crouch is beautiful too.
Bro, and 4th of July, I don't know if they still get buck wild, but they actually made national news for getting 2 buck wild at one time.
We were on the last episode of the Crouch Fireworks Show.
Yeah.
We were launching fireworks at my old boss's drone that he was flying. You remember the drone that was
Yep.
flying? That was
There
my
was
boss, John's. We were launching stuff at that. We were at the last one. But then a couple years ago, they brought it back and started doing it.
Man, I've never seen anything more American than Crouch getting freaking buck wild on 4th of July. This little town probably has like, I don't know, probably like 100 residents or whatever, and they have like a little store and a little street and like a couple of little places where people like, there's a lot of camping around there. And
You got
like
a store,
cabins.
movie theater.
And
I have
Yeah.
a drone, dude, and I do a crazy fireworks show for 4th of July. I have a system where I set up 36 different mortars and I can launch them off at once.
yeah, oh, nice.
So,
Well, just 4th of July. in
drone,
Idaho
I didn't even
is crazy.
think about
It
that.
is-
Yeah.
It is.
Get
I
that
have
up
a
there.
drone now. I'm just send that thing right up.
Damn right.
But yeah, Crouch, Idaho is awesome.
Yes, it is.
Okay, good enough. My favorite place in Idaho. Let's see here. Oh, dude, I really love the drive from Mountain Home going into Sun Valley.
Oh, dude,
Yeah.
that
You guys
drive,
taking that drive?
Dude, that drive is so fucking awesome. You're right, getting through
Yeah.
Alien and
Yep.
oh god,
It is cool. Part of it is like farmland, and you're going through the hilly
It's
country
boring at first, but right when you hit the mountain ridges
or the water.
or you're
A
like,
little bit before the mountain ridges, you're in the water and at the lake.
yep.
Dude, it's so fucking dope. I
It's out
love
of
that
nowhere
drive.
too, because you're like Mountain Home, it's flatland, and then you just go right there. You're like, what? There's a lake here. There's mountains.
It's almost like the drive to Donley Cascade.
Yeah.
Right? But not quite as a weird of windy road. Oh, it's so
Well,
gorgeous.
because you're going through mountains already to get there, but then it opens up to that flatlands, and you're like, oh,
Yep.
this is crazy, and then you go right back into the
Right
mountains.
back
No,
into
this
it.
is
And then you're in Haley at the airport.
flatlands, straight to waterlands. You're like, oh, this is cool. Mountains. You're like, whoa, and then you're in the city because it's in the mountains.
But there's a million like little treasures here in Idaho.
Yeah, goddamn right there are.
Yeah.
That's why it's a topic.
Yeah, and that's why it is a topic.
That's right.
Well, let's shut it down, gentlemen. I'd say that's about all we got. If you guys want to plug something, your band, your music videos coming up, your friends,
Show's coming up.
do it now.
We have a show July 13th with Bloody Wood at the Neurolux. If you guys hit up our Facebook page, there's a link for tickets. Physical tickets is not a thing anymore, guys. We just gotta put that out there and realize that for everyone out there. stop hitting me up and saying, "Give me some tickets." We post links for a reason because we don't get physical tickets for these things anymore, guys.
Get with the times.
It's so true. You can even ask these boys. That is a true statement. There is
Yeah.
no such thing as a hard copy ticket anymore.
Yeah,
We're
I go
not
to tons of
digital. We're
shows.
analog.
It's all on your phone.
Yeah, or at the door.
Yep.
So there's no, because it's a cost that no one needs to deal with when you can just order it online or come straight to the show.
Dude, our grandchildren are gonna be like, "What are tickets?"
But what's
Yeah.
paper?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I
Freaks.
have a bunch of them with Fall of Fathom's name on it that are pinned on my little Fall of
Ticket
Fathom
stubs.
shrine wall that I have in
Oh,
my
yeah.
garage.
hell yeah.
That's important.
And it's not a thing anymore. I keep getting people hitting me up about it, like, "Oh, where do I get tickets? Oh, you have any hard copies? I'll come buy 3." It's like, here's a link, order it yourself, because I don't have that access anymore. It's not a thing.
All right, so July 13th at New Neurolex with Bloody Wood, which is a Indian death metal band.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like what is the
Yes, not Native American.
not even
No.
yeah
No,
from
no,
India
India.
yeah, and they're really cool, and
No,
that's
they're fucking amazing,
That's super
man.
cool that you guys are get to play with them. That's awesome,
Dude, so excited about it. I don't even know. It's gonna be hard to like shake their hand. You're like, dude, you guys are amazing. Like they have their own like. What is it?
They probably think you
bongo
guys
or-
are amazing too. But yeah, that's the one thing as a musician I always found hard to accept when people would come up and tell you like how much they enjoyed your music, and I'm like, yeah, I suck, man.
Yeah, dude, it's a hard pill to swallow.
No, it's
It
not.
is.
That's easy to figure out. Wayne's World did it many years ago. They hit Alice Cooper with the "We're not worthy,
Yeah.
we're not
Oh,
worthy."
yeah, that's so true.
Right? It's pretty easy.
You're right. You're right.
Okay, gentlemen, we fucking did it.
Yep.
High five. I
Thank you for
enjoyed
coming.
it. Thank you guys. This is so much fun, dude.
Hell yeah.